sports is going to be tested here once again.
Hey, by the way, I think we're all a little worn out on gender reveals, but there was just a cool one that happened. Coach Bobby McMillan, defensive coordinator, you and I talk to him every week leading into the game. There was a sign down on the field. He and his wife, who are expecting, they lifted up the sign and it said, "Coach Mack, you're having a girl." So congratulations, Bobby McMillan.
How about that?
Is going to be a girl dad.
And I guess no better way than in front of 15 or 20,000 people to make the reveal. How about that?
Exactly.
For your first one.
Hey, remember, Kohl's is here for you when life gets real. Start at Kohl's, where they've lowered prices on thousands of items your family needs for whatever life brings. Kohl's, where families come first. This is Aggie football, counting you down to kickoff. Utah State and UNLV on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Cache Valley, it's in your own backyard.
Who says summer's over? There's still time to get out and play, and we know just the place. Logan and Cache Valley. Rent razors or horses and explore scenic Logan Canyon. Hike or bike on your way to beautiful Bear Lake. Check out the farmer's market. Catch a live performance or a USU football or soccer game. Take in 9 holes of golf, eat at a great restaurant, feed the ducks, shop, or just relax. Escape to quiet Cache Valley for a romantic getaway or family fun. We've got it all, and so do you. It's in your own backyard. ExploreLogan.com.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
It's time for a wellness tip from Intermountain Health, official health sponsor of the Utah State Aggies. Do you ever notice an elevated heart rate when attending an Aggies game? Here's something you might not know. What do you expect? You're one of the many screaming members of the herd! If your heart rate isn't through the roof, you aren't trying hard enough! Be loud! Be proud! Be heard! That being said, keep an eye on the old ticker. You can't be an Aggies fan without it. Learn more at intermountainhealth.org.
Stokes Trucking knows how critical trucks and trucking are to the well-being of our nation, and our exceptional drivers deliver the goods every day. At Stokes, we're truckers and we're proud of it. If you want a better driving opportunity, in the best equipment, the ability to earn $100,000 per year, and to get home weekly, please stop by, give us a call, or visit our website, stokestrucking.com. Stokes Trucking, doing the right thing since 1979.
Aggie football is on the air.
Hold down, kick is up, and it is... Yes! Let's go home, the Aggies have won it!
Aggie football is brought to you by Sports Academy and Racket Club. Your club, your results, your life. And by Zions Bank. For 150 years of helping you succeed, Zions Bank is for you. From the all-in-one Flooring America radio booth, this is Aggie Pregame.
It's another edition of Aggie football. Welcome on into Maverick Stadium. It's the Aggies and the Rebels of UNLV. Scott Gerard alongside Kevin White. We've got a good one. A little Friday night lights here at the Mav as the Aggies look to pick up a win and snap this losing streak. And what a way to do it would be a good, what a way to snap that streak. Getting a win against a really good UNLV team.
Yeah, a team that's been ranked in the top 25 for the last couple of weeks. They took it on the chin in overtime at home against Syracuse a week ago, but coming in at 4-1, and they want to get it right, get back on the winning trail, and they think they've got a great opportunity to do that here tonight. But for Utah State, homecoming night on a beautiful Friday night here in Cache Valley, this is an opportunity for Utah State to get it back to 1-1 and get themselves perhaps in position to go on a little bit of a run towards the end of the season.
And time to catch up with the head coach of the Aggies, Nate Dreiling.
We're just moments away from kickoff, and it's time to get you ready for today's Utah State game with interim head coach Nate Dreiling.
All right, counting you down to kickoff, it's Utah State and UNLV. It's homecoming here in Logan as the Aggies back at home, and it's time for our pregame conversation with the head coach of the Aggies, Nate Dreiling. And, Coach, boy, I tell you what, it's been a minute since you've been in this stadium. It's got to feel good to finally get back home and play in the Mav.
Yeah, almost a month. So if the crowd was anything like it was versus the Utah game, that'll be a plus. So the players are excited. They got a bunch of family coming in town as well. So it should be a good turnout, and not to mention the herd. I'm sure is going to be ready to roll.
No doubt about it. It's going to be an electric atmosphere because, honestly, this is, it's always tough saying this when haven't hit the halfway point of the season, but this kind of feels like a must-win game today for you today.
It's going to be a fun one. They are extremely talented, and overtime went away from being ranked in the top 20. So we know it's going to be tough, but we had a great week of practice, and we're excited to show what we can do.
So when you play a team like UNLV with that offense, and you and I talked about it during the coaches show, as dynamic as they can be, let's talk about the quarterback. When they brought in the new guy a couple of weeks ago, everybody thought, UNLV is going to drop back down to earth a little bit. In reality, it seems like they've become a little bit more dynamic offensively with what he can do with his legs. So how do you handle a player of that caliber? Do you have to spy him a bit, or what can you do to try to slow him down?
Well, first off, hats off to their whole coaching staff and recruiting department and identifying two quarterbacks of that caliber. When your backup comes in and you might even be better than the first guy, that makes life easy for UNLV. But he does a good job. He can still throw just like the last one, but he runs so well. He gets the ball out fast on RPOs. I think he adds another element to their offense to make him even tougher. So we know we're going to have our hands full, but he is definitely the guy we got to contain.
When you look at a team like that's so dynamic offensively in terms of their ability to run the football, and we talked about this stat as well, they're fifth in the country in running plays of over 30 yards or more, right up there in 20 yards or more as well. It just seems like when they get those yardage, they're coming in chunk yardage. How do you slow a team like that down and make them go 15, 16 plays?
Well, that's the tricky part, right? That's what no one really in 2 years has been able to do. So it comes down to defending a lot of offense. You defend the triple option, you defend the RPO, you defend the spread. They do a good job of trying to keep defenses off balance. So we're going to do a good job of hopefully playing tight coverage, honing in on our keys, and forcing this quarterback when he does throw RPOs, throw them in tight windows, and making sure we have +1 in the ball carrier in the box for tackles. So they do a good job of spreading you thin. So you got to be on top of it with great eye control.
Plus, they are +8 in the turnover margin, and I know that's something that you desperately want to see your team improve on. What are they doing so well in protecting the football? Because when you look at that plus number, it has a lot more to do with them not turning the ball over than it does them forcing turnovers.
Scotty, isn't that the truth? They just don't put their quarterbacks in bad spots. They're a vertical passing team, but they don't take chances. They throw the check down if it's not there. So they do call plays very aggressively, but their quarterbacks play it very safe, and they do a good job of taking what the defense gives them. We got to make sure we force them into making throws that they don't want. We have to be able to capitalize when they do make a mistake.
When you play the RPO, I made the comparison earlier in the week, not necessarily what you think of Air Force, but, at the end of the day, it still comes down to assignment football and making sure that your guys are doing what they need to do and not anything else. I got to imagine it's one of those weeks where it's like, hey, don't worry about the guy next to you. If everybody just does their job, we'll be okay.
Yeah, half the practices we went with no football to making sure that it's not about chasing the ball, it's about doing your job and having trust in your teammates to do theirs as well. So, and this offense that we're playing against is just amplified if you do make mistakes. So it's all about doing our job and having faith in the teammates that they're going to do theirs.
You look at some injuries that we've talked about across the defensive line. After you've had a chance to evaluate some of those D linemen that got thrown into the fire against Boise State last week. How were you able to evaluate them and guys like Ricky and others that need to step up, I'm sure, and have a big one today too?
Yeah, whether you're ready or not, here you go. So they did a good job. They competed their butts off last week, and they showed signs of improvement. So if we can make that next step at that level, then we're going to feel very, very good about where we're at as a defense. It's hard to be good on defense if you ain't good up front. So we have a bunch of young guys who are going to gain experience as they go. But like I said, they had a good week of practice. So if they show up, we're going to be in good shape.
What do you do to try to manufacture opportunities for Jalen Royals when you know that he's the focal point of every defense you're going to go up against the rest of the year?
I think Coach Cefalo did a great job last game. A lot of quick game to him, a lot of screens to him, moving him around all over the place. It's easy to guard someone if they align in the same spot the whole time, but when you have no idea where they're going to be, that's when it's difficult. So Coach Cef and his staff has done a good job of being creative, but obviously we got to get as many touches as we can.
Rasul Faison had over 100 yards, and he's going to be so critical for you the rest of the season. But just obviously your offensive line gets a ton of love, and they should, for their ability to create some opportunities for them. But a lot of that is just Rasul just being a tough son of a gun out there. You've prepared for a lot of defenses. You've prepared for a lot of running backs, but just how high up is he on that list of guys that you've seen in action? Because he's certainly something special.
I think you hit it right on the head. He is tough, right? Very rarely does the first defender get him down, and then he's got the balance and speed to pull away from the second. So I think he's working on hopefully his 4th straight 100-yard game. I think obviously the offensive line has done an unbelievable job, but if we can keep him rolling like he is and adding that element where teams can't just go double Jalen, then that's going to be so beneficial for our offense.
What are your thoughts on Kyrese and his development as kind of that number 2 guy? Because it seems like there was a void there, and we were all wondering who was going to be the guy to step up, and it seems like he's taken over that role nicely.
He has, and we'll continue to get him more and more involved. He needs to be that next threat at the wide receiver spot. If they're doing something with Jalen and he's occupying a lot of eyes, then Kyrese has to have a 100-yard game. I think we saw it early on, and it's got a chance. I think defenses know that at any point when he touches the ball, he can score. We just got to make sure we continue to get him touches because he is such a phenomenal player.
Coach, you're rocking the old school logo today. I know you're new to Utah State, but and that was even before my time, and I'm an old guy, but man, that decal you're rocking on the helmet, that's one of my favorites. I think that looks really cool and really classy today.
It does. Our whole equipment staff and marketing team with our cow helmets and now this, they do an unbelievable job. I wish I could take credit for both of those, but I can't. But they do look sharp. Players love them.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Let's talk about a big W after this one, all right?
Let's do it. Thanks, Scotty.
That's our pregame conversation with the head coach of the Aggies, Nate Dreiling. That conversation is always brought to you by the Sports Academy, your club, your results, your life. Take a break, come back. Kevin's Keys to the Game coming up next on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Aggie fans, with football season here and fall in the air, ski and snowboard season is just around the corner. Remember how much fun last season was? We are anticipating more of the same. Student season passes for this season go on sale September 1st at skithebeeve.com. The best way to beat the winter blues is to head to the mountains for some great family fun recreation. Don't let another year go by without getting in on the great times to be had at Beaver Mountain. And as always, think snow.
Want to set yourself apart from the competition? The Leadership MBA at Utah State University will help you drive change in your organization. You can attend in person in Logan on Thursday evenings or take interactive online classes. Complete your MBA in as little as a year. Contact the MBA office to waive the $55 application fee. Learn more at utahstatemba.com. That's utahstatemba.com. The Utah State MBA is a proud supporter of Aggie football.
At Engel & Falkers Logan, our real estate advisors are known for their unmatched level of local neighborhood knowledge, paired with extensive global resources and personal connections to provide an exclusive experience tailored to each of our clients' unique needs. We dedicate our time, expertise, and passion to help you follow your dream home.
I love watching my child grow through football, learning values and life skills that extend beyond the playing field. Now, there are more ways to play than ever before, from flag to tackle and beyond, with opportunities for boys and girls at any age. To find the right team, explore FutureForFootball.com's new League Locator tool and explore nearby leagues. It's never been easier to get your family involved in the game.
Aggie football from Learfield. It's Utah State. It's UNLV. Before we get to Kevin's Keys to the Game, let's pause 10 seconds for local stations to identify themselves.
97.5 KZNS-FM Colville, 1280 KZNS-AM Salt Lake City, and KSL-FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, we can't waste any more time. Kevin needs his airtime, and he deserves it because we got to get him talking about the keys of the game. So with that, Kevin, What do we got? It's your keys to the game.
Well, a couple of keys here tonight for Utah State on homecoming night to get to a 1-1 in conference and 2-4 on the season. Maybe get themselves right going down the back half of this 2024 season. I want to see defensively for Utah State to show some improvement. I mean, it's not going to be that hard to do because they've just been gashed the last several weeks, giving up 41.4 points per game. But I want to see, are they aligned correctly? Are they assignment sound? Are they fitting the run gaps? Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing in the small details and not getting their eyes caught in the backfield with a lot of the motions and things that they'll see here tonight for UNLV? I want to see that be item number one for Utah State, to be a little bit more effective in terms of their just assignments. If they'll do that, they're giving up 47% on third down conversions. And they've got to be able to get off the field. When the opportunity arises, they've got to get off the field and give this explosive offense a chance, because they're going to have to steal a possession or two here tonight. I think this is probably going to be a 45-41 kind of game. If Utah State, they probably are going to have to get it into a shootout. But if the Utah State defense can get a couple of key stops tonight, that'll be key. Now, one of the things that they've got to do is they've got to match up correctly. And UNLV has some playmakers out there. When you look at number 11, Ricky White, 30 catches for 388 and 6 touchdowns, and also really special in special teams with 2 block kicks, also tackled a punter on a punt opportunity. So really 3 block kicks if you really look at it that way. I want to see the matchup between he and Avante Dickerson. That's going to be so fun to watch tonight. The Utah State's best cover corner against Ricky White, that wide receiver for UNLV. How about Haj Malik Williams, the quarterback, against Utah State's front 7? Can that defensive ends, the edge, can they keep him contained, keep him in the pocket, and then spy him a little bit to try to get him off his rhythm? So those are going to be a couple of keys on defense. Turn to the offense now. The evolution of the offense is now starting to take shape with Spencer Petras at quarterback coming off of his best game. 27 of 41 for 372 and 3 touchdowns. His best career game. The offense is now starting to come together. Utah State put up over 500 yards against Boise State a week ago up in Boise. They're becoming more explosive. They were much, much better on third down conversions. And so I'm really anxious to see the matchups on the offensive side. Rasul Faison with 3 consecutive games over 100 yards rushing, including the last 2 weeks, 53 carries, 257 and 2 touchdowns. He's going to go up against a really good linebacker in Jackson Woodard, number 7 for UNLV. Look for that matchup. How about Jalen Royals, who a week ago, 9 catches for 211 yards and a couple of scores, and we'll never see anything more beautiful than that little wiggle that got the touchdown on the Boise State safety. Jalen Royals is just special. He's going to go out there tonight against Tony Grimes, number 0, and Cameron Oliver, number 5 at cornerback. Watch for those matchups. If Utah State can win a handful of those matchups, they'll have a chance to come out of here with a W, and then they got to be special in special teams tonight.
Engel and Volkers brings you your keys to the game. Follow your dream home. You're listening to Aggie Football from Learfield as we get you your coin toss, and we'll kick this thing off next right here on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
At Stokes Equipment, your local John Deere dealer. They have the equipment you need to get the job done. Handle heavier duty chores around the farm, property, or job site with John Deere compact utility tractors and compact construction equipment. They have an option for all your upcoming summer and fall season chores. Find out which tractor is right for you. Stokes Equipment is in Preston, Idaho, 451 West 800 North, and Tremonton, Utah, 1625 West Main Street. Check them out online at stokesequipment.com.
Calling all Utah State Aggies. You know who you are, and we know you love to come home to Cache Valley to cheer on your favorite Aggie teams. The University Inn has a special rate just for you. Enjoy free covered parking, free Aggie ice cream, and breakfast with a waffle bar, all in the center of the campus, just steps away from all the exciting Aggie home events. The University Inn has your cozy room at a comfortable price. Just ask for the Aggie Athletic rate.
All-in-One Flooring America would like to invite Aggie Nation to come experience our showroom powered by the Room to Explore display system, the easiest way to design every flooring project in your home. Our tools and technology will assist you in finding the perfect flooring match from the comfort of your home, or work with our in-house interior designer in one of our inviting showrooms located in Brigham City and Logan. Stop by today and save big and experience a better way to shop for flooring. All-in-One Flooring America, where Aggies send their friends.
Picture this, a bank that understands the unique rhythm of Utah, where the mountains meet the valleys and your financial dreams meet reality. From Ogden to Layton, Logan to Brigham City and Tremonton, and Murray to Orem, our branches are strategically placed to serve you better. Visit any of our local branches today. We're ready to be your financial ally. Your success is our success. D.L. Evans Bank, community banking since 1904.
On the Aggie Sports Network.
Keeping himself, Fields wide open, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, can't get there, 5, touchdown!
From Learfield.
Wants the shovel pass, it's got the first and more, he's off to the races, here we go, 10-5, touchdown, Utah State!
Aggie football is brought to you by Beaver Mountain. Come ski the Bee. Also brought to you by Smith's, proud partner of Utah State Athletics. Now with the call of the game from the All-in-One Flooring America radio booth, here's the voice of the Aggies, Scott Gerard.
It's a big one tonight here in the MAV. It's homecoming, it's UNLV, and the Aggies need themselves a victory, and they'll try to do that tonight. Utah State has won the toss. They have deferred, so we will see this dynamic UNLV offense to start things off as Elliot Nimrod set to kick this thing away for Utah State. Kevin, a lot of buzz in the air. We understand the student section is here. They're rocking. They're ready to go, and everybody knows this is a must-win game for Utah State.
No doubt. It starts early. I'm anxious to see. You see Brock Lane out there. We didn't see him other than maybe in punt formation a week ago against Boise State. He'll be able to go tonight. Utah State down a couple of guys along that defensive front. Taz Williams, Miguel Jackson, Inoka McGow, and Blaine Spires. So 4 starters along the front out for tonight's game. So a lot of backups will get some time, and they got to come to life here tonight.
Yeah, backups no longer. They'll get thrown to the wolves. Jacob De Jesus set to return this as he stands at his own goal line, and Elliot Nimrod kicks this one away, and we are underway as it hits midway through the end zone and rolls out of the back, and Utah State will see UNLV start this one at their own 25-yard line.
So they'll start with Haj Malik Williams, 34 of 41. Think about that, almost 83% completion percentage, 409 yards, and 6 touchdowns, but it's also in the run game with 260 yards on the season.
Again, they don't ask him to push the ball downfield much, which keeps that completion percentage high, but he does have the ability to certainly do just that. Here comes UNLV in shotgun. Williams, the fly sweep coming to the near side, to the 30, crosses back to the middle of the field to the 40, and finally ripped down at the Utah State 39-yard line. Jacob De Jesus can show those wheels. He takes the fly sweep and takes it inside Aggie territory.
Wow. Remember a week ago, Ashton Genty on the first play of the game took it to the house.
I was afraid we were going to get a repeat of that.
Just brought him in motion. They split him out to the left and then brought him in jet sweep. Nobody there on the Aggie edge.
Williams in pistol. Hands off to Kylan Williams. Gets a good block at the line of scrimmage. Breaks a tackle to the 30, to the 25, to the 15, to the 10, and finally knocked down by Ike Larson at the 5-yard line.
2 plays.
Oh, boy.
2 plays and inside Aggie red zone already. A missed tackle at the point of attack, a good block on the outside, and UNLV right back at the line of scrimmage.
So it's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line for UNLV. Williams fakes the handoff, throws for the intended receiver to the outside, goes over his head, incomplete, looking for Ricky White. Ball badly thrown, and Utah State will force UNLV into a 2nd and goal from the 5.
Matched up against J.D. Drew, and the Aggies were not aligned, Scotty.
Yep.
Both that second play of the drive and that play not aligned correctly. The motion really hurting Utah State defensively.
Christian Moore kind of playing that fullback position next to Williams. Instead, he will hand off and bouncing to the outside and walking into the end zone, Kylan James, who is also lined up in the backfield, takes the handoff, goes right, and it takes 4 plays for UNLV to go 75 yards and get the first touchdown of the game, and only 1:10 off the clock.
And a few boo birds from the Aggie crowd just made Jordan Vincent miss, and that's Utah State's best tackler at the point of attack. Jordan Vincent right there for the run fit, and just made him miss and got it into the end zone for Kylan James.
Here comes the extra point attempt as UNLV strikes first, hold down, kick up, and it is good. And UNLV, with the high-powered offense, the only play that doesn't go for any yards was an incomplete pass. Other than that, 3 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And it's four plays, 75 yards in a minute and 10.
Yep.
And it was the 5-yard touchdown run by Kylan James. And, wow, now you get a sense you're going to be in a total shootout here if you're Kyle Cefalo and Nate Dreiling.
Yep. Now the pressure shifts to the Utah State offense. You're listening to Aggie football from Learfield.
Back to school means it's back to health at the Sports Academy. Are you stressed, need more energy, or just needing to work on your overall health and fitness? Stop by the Sports Academy today and experience the Sports Academy difference. The Sports Academy has something for all ages and abilities. Swimming, basketball, racquetball, tennis, the largest functional training room, and over 100 group fitness classes. Let our certified instructors and trainers help you reach your health and fitness goals. It's time to get back to health at the Sports Academy. Your club, your results, your life.
Sign Pro is a proud supporter of Utah State Athletics and the preferred signage partner for all Utah State athletic venues. Whether you know exactly what you want or you have no idea, the design pros at Sign Pro have years of experience in turning customer visions into realities. No matter how big or small the project is, Sign Pro can get it done. Call us at 435-787-1999 for a quote on your next project.
Kevin just pointed out, and well done by Kevin, the fly sweep to De Jesus was actually a flip forward, so that actually counts as a passing yard. So it's not all done on the ground, but for all intents and purposes, those were 3 rushing plays that UNLV was able to just easily march down the field.
Yeah, it was a 37-yarder on the opening play, a little jet sweep. They motioned De Jesus from the running back position out to the slot. Then they brought him back in jet sweep and just tossed it to him, and he got upfield for 37 yards. And then it was Williams, the running back that we haven't talked a lot about, Kylan James, I should say. 2 carries for 38 yards, including the 5-yard touchdown run, where he went face-to-face with Utah State's best tackler, Jordan Vincent, and made just a plant to the left and then out to the right and left Jordan Vincent looking after him into the end zone.
Today's Utah State game ball delivery brought to you by Holiday Motor Coach, the official transportation of your Utah State Aggies. Just like the game ball, Holiday Motor Coach delivers excellence from one customer to the next, one coach at a time.
And I wanted to see Utah State get aligned correctly and be assignment sound. They were not on the first drive. Everything they've talked about all week long, not ready on the opening drive.
Jalen Royals to the left side of the field, Kyrese White to the right, as the kickoff will go out of the back of the end zone, and Utah State will now start at their own 25, hoping to replicate a 75-yard touchdown drive that UNLV just put together.
Got that starting 5 up front: Cole Moats, Wyatt Bowles, Pule Alo. It's good to see Alamaui, who stepped out of the game a week ago with a bit of an ankle injury. Teague Anderson, who's coming to age in that right tackle position.
Boy, was part of our coaches show on Wednesday, did such a great job and is such a huge part of what Utah State's doing offensively. Rasul face on, will take the handoff. He bounces the outside to the 30, takes a nasty shot, but gets 9 to the 34-yard line.
Good blocking off that left-hand side. Cole Moats just collapsed everybody. Faison had wide open space.
2nd and 1 for Petrus. You like that? They hand off to Faison. Faison, what another great jump cut. Gets past the 40 to the 46, 47-yard line. Wow.
2 moves and got upfield for the first down. He's going to step out right now. I think Utah State may go 5 receivers wide. They're going to bring Herschel Turner. Faison kind of hit his head on the turf. He's coming off to the sideline and laying on the ground, Scotty. That's not a good sign.
Nope. Here comes Spencer Petrus. And they are attending to that hip. He did take a nasty shot to that hip. Petrus fakes the handoff to Turner. Looks left. Finally dumps it down to Turner. And Turner will get 5, 6, and almost 7 yards to the 47-yard line. Good job by Petrus being patient in the pocket, dumping it down to his running back and getting positive yards.
So now Turner's going to play a big role in this game if Faison has to stay out for any length of time.
Hand off to Turner. Turner breaks one tackle, breaks two, bounces to the right side of the field, and will be about a yard shy of the first down. One thing you need to learn as a young running back, just get it upfield. Kept dancing around in the backfield. A really pretty 2-yard gain, but could have got a first.
Needed to stick his head up and get that first down, Sticks. He wanted to try to get further wide and was stopped before he got to the first down marker, but boy, he's an electric-looking young running back.
You don't see this very often. Utah State old school I formation.
George Miley playing the fullback.
And the handoff to Turner. Turner has to get the outside and cannot. He is snowed under 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, all the way back to the 46-yard line. Old school football not working Utah State's way as the Aggies lose 2 and now will be forced to punt.
Saw the same thing happen at Temple. And now you got to wonder, though, right now, if you're Nate Dreiling, you're going to have to steal a possession or two. They got the punt team out.
Yep.
So going to try to play the field position game and hopefully rely on that defense to make a stop.
Here comes Kotzenle standing at his own 31-yard line. A promising drive goes for naught for the Aggies. Kotzenle waiting, and then finally, rugby style kicks that, takes a nice Aggie bounce, and will roll out of bounds at the 13-yard line. As Utah State will see UNLV come back out on the field. 11-10 left to go in the first quarter, and the Aggies already down 7-0.
Yeah, that's one that Herschel Turner will learn as he gets a little bit more experience. Just put your head down, get the first down, and let's get another set of downs. But as it was, stopped on third down, and Utah State forced to punt.
Take a break. Utah State down 7-0, 11-10 left, first quarter action. This is Aggie football from Learfield.
Hey, USU football fans. Come visit your local Macy's grocery store for all your tailgating needs. Macy's has great prices on all of your favorite game day items, like burger patties, made fresh dips, and more. Did you know that your favorite tailgate foods are also now offered through Macy's Catering? Macy's offers a wide variety of catering platters, from smoked meats to wings and even desserts. Catering is available to order online at Macys.com or in store. So, whether you're having a small or large party, Macy's has you covered. Never miss a deal when you sign up for the rewards program and emails to get the digital ad sent straight to your inbox each week. Come visit your local Macy's grocery store for all of your tailgating needs. Get game day ready with Macy's. Happy shopping.
Welcome on back. You're listening to Utah State football. Aggies down 7-0 and just punted it back to the UNLV offense as homecoming festivities continue on here at Maverick Stadium. Kevin?
Yeah, including the Aggie Spirit Squad out there trying to rile up this Aggie defense who gave up a quick 75-yard four-play drive in the opening drive. Now that Spirit Squad sponsored by Serenoni Luxury Blankets. Whenever that Spirit Squad's out there, we are reminded of the good folks at Serenoni, a proud sponsor of Utah State Athletics.
Utah State Athletics, an America First credit union featuring the academic success of USU student athletes with your AFCU Student Athlete of the Week. Kate Christian from the soccer team earns the honors this year. Soccer team ranked 11th coming into the week. Unfortunately, suffered a 2-0 loss in Laramie to Wyoming, and Manny's crew looking to right the ship.
Their first loss of the season.
First loss of the season.
Had gone 13 games, 11-0-2 before that loss over in Laramie. So you're right, they'll need to get back on the winning ways, still with an eye to perhaps run the table and host a tournament game here at Chuck and Glory Bell Field.
Hodge Williams back in shotgun, running backs on each side, two receivers to the near side. Four-man front for the Aggies. As Williams hands to the outside, bouncing to the outside, and he may go to the 40, 45, 50. Finally, Ike Larson, another touchdown-saving tackle as Jaden Thomas takes the easy sweep to the outside. Nobody's there to slow him down, and another big gain for this UNLV offense.
Not even touched until Ike Larson finally was able to get him out of bounds at the 45, inside the 45-yard line, and that's now 3 tackles already for Ike Larson, the only defender that's made a tackle so far.
All the way to the Aggie 44-yard line. Running the option, Williams hit at the line and dropped at the line. No gain on the play, as Utah State, for the first time tonight, will force UNLV into a 2nd and 10.
So defense is decimated up front. You got Kian Sloan, Lawrence Falatea at the edges with Bo Miley and Gabe Iniguez. You've got Clyde Washington, John Ross May at the backer position.
The only running back on the field, it's White and DeJesus to the right. Casey Kane all by himself at the top of the formation. One-on-one in coverage with DJ Graham. Handoff goes up the middle to Jet, gets it across the 45. Gets down near the 40. They'll spot him at the 41 as Bo Miley grabbed him and wrestled him down to the turf here in Logan.
And you mentioned it, leaving Casey Kane one-on-one to the top of the formation there. Press man, no safety help was going to be over the top there. I doubted that the Aggies will line up in that formation very often, and the Rebels not make him pay for it with a deep ball over the top. But here we go, the Rebels' first offensive third down of the game.
Raising Cane's third down, the Rebels on top 7-0, 9:40 and counting here in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, with Jet Thomas off to the right hip of Haj Malik Williams in the shotgun. He takes the snap, he'll look to pass, fires it up towards the far sideline. It's incomplete, intended for Casey Kane. Little too much mustard on that hot dog, and the Haj Malik Williams throw goes into the sideline, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here comes the punt unit onto the field.
And there's the connection you have to have. They went with a press man coverage again, just a simple man-free look. Actually went to double team Jacob DeJesus with that free safety, and Casey Kane won on the route near that Rebel sideline, and just an inaccurate throw downfield by Haj Malik Williams. Those are kind of connections you have to have down the field, especially when the defenders are playing press coverage like that.
That's one that Haj Malik Williams would love to have back, as Marshall Nichols nearly blocked but kicks a high end-over-end kick that bounces in the end zone, despite a great effort by Cam Oliver to try to chase it down. So the touchback off the foot of Nichols will give Utah State the ball at their own 25-yard line. Rebels hoping for more of the same defensively after a missed opportunity on offense with 9:20 to go in the first. 7-0 UNLV on top. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Modelo Cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
Tom got a new ride.
Hey, Tom, sweet ride.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey, Tom, sweet ride.
That's my ex-girlfriend. Thanks, Marcy. Did Tom get a raise? Did he win the lottery? Nah, I just got a sweet loan from One Nevada Credit Union. Smart move, Tom. Thanks. They have great terms, low rates, and an easy approval process. All I needed to do was find a sweet ride. Get a sweet loan for a sweet ride at onenevada.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Attention plumbers, HVAC, DIYers, and construction pros. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has everything you need for your next project. Open early at South Decatur and Russell. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware, your one-stop shop to get the job done. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware. Get in, get out, and get to work.
UNLV football is presented by Findlay Chevrolet, located in the Southwest at 215 in South Rainbow, Nevada's #1 Chevrolet volume dealership. Frankly, we're customer-driven. And by Pueblo Medical Imaging. The friendly staff at Pueblo Medical is eager to take care of all your radiology needs and offers same-day or next-day appointments. With top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art equipment, they're open 7 days a week with early morning and evening appointments to accommodate all patient schedules. That's Pueblo Medical Imaging. Nothing going for the Rebels offensively on their second crack at the apple, but they do lead 7-0 with 9:20 to go here in the first quarter. For UNLV on the defensive side of the ball, Caleb, allowing a couple of early run plays, having some success for Utah State, but when it really mattered in that first drive for the Aggies, they put the clamps on.
Yeah, UNLV went with the lighter box, and you're going to give up some ground game when you go with a 5-man box against a 5-man front. Anytime the Aggies look at that box count, they're going to decide that that's a favorable box offensively, and just hand it off and get what they can. And that's what they were able to do. Obviously, Faison left that series with an injury. He's going to be back out there right now. He was dealing with what appeared to be a lower leg injury, but got worked out by the trainers. And now he's back out on the field for the second offensive possession for the Aggies. Now, the box is a little bit more tight here. There's 6 men near the box on this possession, and that may just be because of the formation of the Aggies. A little bit more of a condensed formation here with the bunch off the right side. But we'll see if UNLV continues to try to throw out the lighter box against the Aggies offense, which is primarily a passing attack down the field.
They're all bunched in tight with trips just off the right hip of the right tackle, Teague Anderson. Petrus looks to throw the other way, finds Faison out of the backfield, but he is wrapped up by Jackson Woodard for no gain. Jackson sniffed that thing out and really just circumferenced him. He was all over him.
It's a great job reacting to the flat there. Didn't bail on it because there's a slant coming behind Jackson Woodard. He held that slant, which was the first read, and we'll take the check down to the flat and rally to it. All 11 hats to the ball, but only one was necessary. That's the captain, Jackson Woodard.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Utah State going with the exact same formation. Jalen Royal is the lone wideout, all by himself on the left side of the field. Man in motion to the top of the formation is Otto Tias. Petrus to pass, looking over the middle. Lets one rip on the seam route, but it's incomplete. A little too much on it, intended for Kyrese White on the far side hash. That was a missed assignment. The bad throw bailed him out.
Yeah, the motion there got the Rebels confused on who was going to expand with the motion. Too many guys expanded, and the seam was left wide open. That's a play that Utah State connects on. You talk about coverage bust. They were able to exploit some coverage bust against Boise State last week for an early touchdown. So we'll see if UNLV can tighten that up in the secondary, but fortunate now to be facing a Raising Cane's 3rd down.
Trips to the right with Will Monty, the tight end, included. Man in motion to the near side as Petrus steps back. He's flushed out of the pocket to the right. He's tripped up. He's brought down in the backfield. A huge sack on 3rd down by Manny Powell with 8:31 to play in the first. Brings a 3 and out, and the punt unit onto the field. Another sack for this Rebel defensive unit.
A great job, first time getting pressure on the passer. 3rd pass attempt really for the Aggies, and Manny Powell comes on the blitz. A really exotic pressure there. Had a bunch of Rebels bluffing the pressure. And Manny Powell was the one that decided to break through the line of scrimmage and come up with the first sack of the night.
In his own end zone, the punter Stephen Kotzenle. It's a low-line drive that bounces at the 40-yard line. Jacob DeJesus picks it up at midfield. He is pummeled. He is absolutely crushed by a score of tacklers right at the 50-yard line. He's able to pop up in a hurry and get back to the sideline. A low-line drive kick certainly wreaked havoc there, and the Rebels will take over at midfield with 1 tick under 8 minutes to play in the first. 7:59 to go, a 7-0 lead. UNLV looking to add to it on the other side. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
A smooth, close Barbasol shave in the morning lifts your confidence. That rich, creamy lather will catapult you to greatness. Nothing can stop you today. Well, except that traffic jam. Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary, and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Parkway Tavern is the official home of the Rebels on the road. With 7 neighborhood taverns, there's no better place to win with the Rebels. Enjoy $5 Miller Lite and Coors Light drafts and $6 Crown Royal, Kettle One, and Fireball during every game all season long. Plus, download the Parkway app for a free souvenir pint glass and free domestic draft at any of their 7 Valley locations. Parkway Tavern is a proud partner of your UNLV Rebels. Visit pkwitavern.com or follow them on social media at Parkway Tavern. That's PKWY Tavern. Go Rebels!
UNLV football is presented by our friends at Howard Hughes. There's something beautiful happening in Las Vegas. Life in Summerlin, a premium master plan community designed to live as good as it looks. Find your new home now at Summerlin.com. And also by West Coast Trial Lawyers, the #1 rated personal injury firm and proud supporters of UNLV athletics. Get the most with West Coast. 7-0 UNLV, 7:59 to go here in the first quarter. So far for UNLV, so good on the offensive side of the ball. 85 yards rushing, including 47 from Jet Thomas, including a 43-yard scamper on the last drive that really didn't end with anything. Malik Williams probably still thinking about that throw down that far sideline to Casey Kane, but the Rebels have had openings in both the running and passing game here early.
Yeah, the Rebels went with a triple option play, really their first negative, play of the game, and I think at this point in the game, you don't really need to get into the triple option side of your offensive scheme. Your big boys up front are doing a great job of making lanes for the running backs. They're hitting the holes with pace and explosion, and you've gotten really a lot of explosive plays on the ground so far in this one. So I don't know if we'll see the Rebels simplify their ground attack and just really rely on the physicality up front to pave the way. And if they're going to get opportunities in one-on-one coverage, you have to be able to connect. Maybe not this week. It doesn't really affect the offense. But anytime you get press man coverage, I was taught as a quarterback, that's like stealing. You got to take your shots, make the defense respect it. Malik Williams unable to connect on his first deep shot. We'll see how he fares on this drive.
Malik only 1 out of 3 passing. That won a 37-yard end around on the jet toss. He gives it to Jet Thomas, who is knocked down after a gain of 1. Getting it into Utah State territory, but no further. John Ross May, the middle linebacker, came in to lay the boom, and they're going to mark him for no gain. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Rebels already back to the line with Jaden Bradley at the top of the formation by himself. Ricky White and Jacob DeJesus to the right. Malik Williams rolls that direction. He's pressured, hit as he throws, airs it up towards the sideline. It's incomplete at the 35-yard line. Taking a crushing blow there was Bradley. Ike Larson put the helmet down and laid the boom on an errant throw by Malik Williams.
It's a good job by Bradley there. An errant throw, like you said, by Malik Williams. Had pressure in his face on the edge rush. Really just got to abort that pass immediately to the sideline. Tries to get it up for grabs, and because he took the hit, he couldn't get everything underneath him. And the Rebels unable to move the ball at all so far. A Raising Cane's 3rd down here at the 50-yard line.
Neither side has been able to complete a 3rd down attempt. Malik Williams to pass. He checks down on the screen to the left side. It's Chet Thomas. He gets it at the 35, down near the 40. He's marked close to the line to gain. The screen pass on 3rd down is a staple, and it works, but only for 9 yards. A penalty as well coming in at the end.
That penalty's declined. The results of play is 1st down.
So they do mark him for a first, and it was offsides.
No, they're not going to give him the first. The official made a mistake. They marked him short of the 1st down by about 1 yard.
I don't think there was a number 4 on the defense either.
From the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Here we go.
So the Rebels will accept the penalty because the result of the play was not a 1st down. So they'll accept the 5-yard penalty and replay 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 5 for UNLV as the offsides.
After further discussion, they have decided to decline the ball. 4th down.
So after all that, it will be a 4th down and a yard, maybe even less than a yard. But UNLV going to keep the offense out on the field. So far this year, they are 5 out of 7 in converting 4th down attempts. Malik Williams goes under center. He turns and fakes the pitch. He'll roll to the right. He stops, gets a block from Christian Moore, trying to find a man as he gets it across the line of scrimmage. He dives. He's got the 1st down. Chasing him down was John Ross May, and Malik Williams desperately scrambling for the 1st down all the way down to the 34-yard line.
That's just a gutsy individual effort there by Malik Williams. Tried to catch Utah State slipping there with the play action, getting a shot over the top. They stayed home over the top, and Malik Williams didn't put the ball in jeopardy, but uses his legs to get the corner and the 1st down, keeping this drive alive with the first 4th down conversion of the ballgame.
2 receivers left, 1 tight end to the right side is Christian Moore. In the backfield is Greg Burrell. They screen it over to Ricky White on the far side. He's got it to the 35, across the 30. He picks up a 1st down before being tackled out of bounds at the 24-yard line by Jaden Francois. Wasn't going to be long before we called Ricky's name for the first time.
Great job by Ricky White getting that screen pass, but a great job by Casey Kane on the edge, picking up the wide receiver block that allows that screen to really get going. It's one-on-one. He makes the block, and Ricky makes the gain.
1st and 10 with 6:13 to go in the first. 7-0 UNLV. On a screen to the right, it's White again at the 33-yard line. He stiff arms a defender, gets it inside the NV Energy red zone before being ushered out of bounds at the 18-yard line. We've seen that look a couple of times, back-to-back screen passes to Ricky White.
And going sideline to sideline, really trying to expand this Aggie defense and look for something down the middle here, whether it's a handoff or some sort of route that attacks the middle of this defense as the Rebels again flip the formation with the receivers stacked to the top of the formation.
Malik Williams now 5 out of 8 as he goes into the pistol. He's got Moore off to his left, Burrell in the backfield. He fakes it to the true freshman, fires it towards the end zone, looking for Ricky White. He kicks the catch, tiptoes out of the bounds. Is he inbounds? Touchdown! Oh, what a catch by Ricky White! There was no call originally. Ricky White somehow able to get the tip of the shoes in there, and it's a 2-touchdown lead. Oh, what a grab.
What a grab. A little bit out of reach for the average receiver, but the All-American Ricky White able to come down with it and keep a foot in bounds. Dangerously runs into the wall there as the stands here at Aggie Stadium or Maverick Stadium are really close to the field of play, but Ricky White makes the catch, gets the touchdown. 3 catches in a row for the All-American, making his presence felt on that drive. But a great job by Malik Williams to keep the drive alive. They're taking an extended look at the play, just to make sure, and the in-house feed we have is looking like a touchdown. So the Rebels will extend their lead to 13 after the touchdown. It'll be 14 with the extra point pending.
What a catch from Ricky White. Tell you what, naked eye game speed, I thought that he dropped it. He held that thing, stuck it to the hands on his 7th touchdown of the 2024 season. Caden chittened it out for the extra point. He boots it through the uprights, and after 3 drives offensively, the Rebels with 2 touchdowns, a rushing score from Kylan James, and a connection from Haj Malik Williams to Ricky White. 14-0 UNLV with 5:40 to go in the first, as the Rebels look to continue the dominance on both sides of the ball.
It's a great job offensively. A gutsy call early, aggressive call really, I should say, to go for it on 4th and 1, but that's kind of aggression that you want to see from your coach if you're the offense. Yeah, give us an opportunity to go for it and make you right. Haj Malik Williams with a fantastic individual effort on the play action call gets the first down, and from there the Rebels were rolling, attacking sideline to sideline with 3 consecutive passes to Ricky White, ending with the touchdown. That's a great way for the offense to get points on the board after the defense has been stout in the first quarter.
14-0 UNLV. Back on the goal line to receive the kick is Jalen Royals and Herschel Turner Jr. Caden Chittenden kicks it in that direction. Royals catches it a yard into his own end zone. He'll bring it out from the far side hash. Bring up the middle of the field. He is tripped up at the 20. Coming in to make the stop was Manny Powell. Good job by a starter on special teams. Nothing new for this UNLV group.
So the Rebels essentially gain 4 yards on the return. There was some space and opportunity. One of the Rebel covermen actually fell down and couldn't fill his lane. Would have had to tackle even farther inside the 20, but now a little bit of negative field position start point for the Aggies. Only 4 yards, but the coverage team does their job, and the defense look to continue to do theirs.
Spencer Petras 2 for 3 passing for a whopping 7 yards to this point. A go from right to left and handed up the middle. Faison ripped down at the 24-yard line. He was contacted in the upper half. A Rebel came flying in from the backfield. It was Manny Powell again, combining with Jackson Woodard on the stop, and here come the Aggies to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 6 after a pickup of 4. Faison in the backfield once again. They fake it to him. Petras on a slant route finds the tight end lane on the far side. He catches it at the 30 before Jalen Catalon and Antonio Doyle, who dropped back, combining for the stop, brings up 3rd and a short 1.
That's the first time that the Aggies have thrown the RPO against this look for the Rebels. They've had a light box. They finally try to take advantage of the RPO game on that far side.
Otto Tia, the receiver to the far side of the formation, the only one over there. Now a man in motion is Jack Hystera. The give is up the middle, and pushing it for a gain of 2 in the first is Rashul Faison before Manny Powell eventually brought him down. Faison for the first, and the Aggies with a new set of downs. They're working with some tempo already, as we have 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go and counting in quarter number 1. The give is up the middle. Faison on an outside zone. Breaks a tackle. Gets across the 30-yard line before Jonathan Baldwin and Jalen Catalon combine to wrestle him to the turf. Faison picks up a yard, and it brings up 2nd and 9.
There's too many missed tackles on negative play opportunities. A couple of Rebels, including Manny Powell, had an opportunity for about a 3 or 4 yard loss if they make the tackle. Just got to bring your feet, break down. Faison's a talented runner, able to make guys miss.
On an aborted screen pass, Petras tries to take it up the middle. He is tackled in the backfield. Jalen Dixon and Jonathan Baldwin combining to stop him for no gain. Brings up a 3rd and long.
And that play is made by Tony Grimes at the point of the diamond formation. 4 wide receivers are trying to throw the screen out there and take advantage of the numbers. Grimes busts it up at the line of scrimmage. And you said it, the quarterback had to tuck it and abort it. Nothing doing on the inside. Another negative play generated by the Rebel defense.
Petras, not much of a runner. That's just his 11th carry of the year. He's got negative yards. He puts a man in motion to the top of the formation. He drops back to pass on 3rd and 10. Fires to the far sideline. It's complete at the 40. And spinning across the first down for more is Jack Hystera. Eventually bringing him down was a combination of Malik Chavis and Jonathan Baldwin. The Utah native, Jack Hystera, picks up a first for Utah State.
Rebels go man coverage there. The deep out route is one of the toughest routes to cover from the slot. Well executed by this offense, and this drive is off and rolling.
Ball on the Utah State 48-yard line as Petras fakes it up the middle to Faison. Now on the pass, he finds Royals at the 45 into UNLV territory. He's brought down by Malik Chavis, and for the first time tonight, the Aggies are in UNLV territory. Utah State with a lot of tempo in the offense tonight. Have not gone to the huddle once as they look to the sideline. First-year head coach Nate Dreiling calling the shots. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. The give is up the middle to Faison, who spins around Manny Powell and runs into the chest of a host of UNLV defenders. Moving the pile for 3 yards is Rashul Faison, the 5'11", 200-pound senior.
And again, another opportunity for a negative play. Manny Powell in the hole, has a 3-yard loss, but Faison's able to make a miss.
On 2nd and 6, Petrus fakes the handoff, looking to the left. He fires it, and it's complete over the middle. That's the running back, Faison, down to the 35-yard line. Sets up 3rd down and 4. Manny Powell in on another tackle. Calling his name a lot. He is all over the field as he fills in for Marcel McDuffie as he approaches his return from that foot injury.
And he is gassed right now. He's looking for a blow. This tempo's got him gasping for air at his linebacker spot. He taps his helmet trying to get a sub, but the Aggies did not substitute, so there was not a safe opportunity for UNLV to get a substitution for him. He's going to have to gut it out here for this Raising Cane's 3rd down.
Aggies get to the line, then turn and get a new play from the near sideline. 1:44 and counting in the first quarter, 14-0 UNLV. Petrus with 2 receivers to each side of the formation, drops back, passes over the left side. It's complete to Royals at the 30. He gets it inside the 25 to the 20. Jonathan Baldwin grabs him, and Jackson Woodard comes in to finish him off. That's another 1st down for the Aggies, and this is their most sustained offense as they've got it inside the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get to the line of scrimmage quickly. 2 receivers and a tight end to the right. Jalen Royals by himself to the left. The give is to Faison. Off tackle right side. He gets inside the 20 to the 10, the 5. He's in on the far side pylon. Rashul Faison, for the 3rd time this year, finds pay dirt on the ground. And after their first offensive success of the game, Utah State on the board, 14-6, pending an extra point.
The tempo there from the Aggies has the Rebels defense reeling. They had opportunities to get them off the field on 3rd down, but the longer you stay on the field against a tempo team like the Aggies, the more fatigue starts to play a factor. Manny Powell was running on empty on the last couple of plays of that possession, and it showed, and that's why Faison was able to go into the end zone virtually untouched for the Aggies' first score of the ballgame.
Out to try to make it a 1-touchdown game is Tanner Cragun, wearing number 88. He kicks it through and hits the video board on the extra point. That is good. 14-7. UNLV leads with 1:12 to go in the first quarter. With the Rebels making some adjustments in the early stages, there's going to need to be some more adjustments made after that drive.
Yeah, and I think the worry has been the pass attack of the Aggies, and the Rebels have gone with a lighter box, essentially playing 5-on-5. But the key there is that they're playing with 6 offensive players, and anytime you have a one-on-one tackle, you have to be able to make it. The man who's designated to make the tackle in that light box has been missing several times in a row, and Faison's doing a great job of making that man miss, so credit to him. But Utah State on the board, first offensive possession, really a commanding drive. Couple of 3rd down conversions sprinkled in there as well. As the Aggies make this a 1-possession game, we'll see if UNLV can respond offensively. They've had pretty much everything they wanted on the offensive side, but some answers need to be found for the defense. And somebody get Manny Powell an oxygen mask because he was gasping for air on that last possession.
So 14-7 as the kicker Elliot Nimrod lines it up, getting set to get this one back underway as he kicks it from right to left. Jacob DeJesus standing on his own goal line will stick the arms out, let it go into the end zone, and another drive's going to start for the Rebel offense from their own 25-yard line. We talked about the defensive adjustments. Really not a lot of adjustments needed on the offense. They've been humming so far, 171 yards in their first 3 drives.
Yeah, I think the only thing you'd say offensively is you want to connect on the deep shots when they're available. Anytime you get press man-free coverage, you have to be able to be efficient in those matchups. The receivers did a great job of winning, at least on that first possession. Malik Williams with a couple of misses on some throws, but the offense has what they want in their playbook. The ground game is going, and I think a lot of their offense will be predicated on their ability to run the ball.
So there's Hodge out in the backfield with Christian Moore, the tight end, off to his right, and the go-go offense is Kylan Green. They fake it to him. He throws it to the far side, looking for Ricky White. He's got it at the 50. Out of bounds to the 45 after a stupendous toe-tapping grab by Ricky White. Nothing new for the All-American.
Yeah, there's connecting on a 20-yard pass, 20 or more through the air. Explosive play. Ricky White, slight back shoulder throw there. Good coverage, but the All-American able to climb the ladder, come down with it. Rebels already in Aggie territory after one play.
Ricky just went one-on-one with the quarterback, J.D. Drew, mano-a-mano. 14-0 with 45 seconds and counting in the first quarter. Williams takes the snap, gives it up the middle. It's Kylan James across the 45 down to the 30 as he's brought down at the 32-yard line. Kylan James with that downhill running style brought down by Jalen Vincent and John Ross May.
And those are the kind of runs that I like to see UNLV do from the pistol formation there. Just get the running back going downhill, let the offensive line get a push, and really just move the ball effectively. EOS Fitness first down, Rebels with back-to-back first down plays.
UNLV slowing things up a bit here. They now get to the line with two receivers to the right. And they'll give it on the left side. It's Kylan James off the left guard. He pushes it across the 30 down to the 25-yard line. And Kylan James continues with an 8-yard run on first down, sets up second down and 2. He is so tough to bring down. He's like a bowling ball in the middle of the field.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. A great run, like you said, downhill for Kylan James and for this offensive line. White knuckle runs is what we like to call them. Just let the guys up front get the push, get your running backs pads north and south, and get the chunks of yards in the ground game. Rebels have been dominant on the ground so far through the first quarter.
After one quarter of play, UNLV leads Utah State 14-7. They'll put a fresh 15 minutes back on the clock. UNLV is going to start quarter number 2 from the Utah State 25-yard line. We'll see what they can do with it when we return. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
We love the thrill of a game-winning drive. And when it comes to exploring the wild side of Nevada, we've got a few epic drives of our own. Road trips to fill your heart. Hot springs, ghost towns, desert art. Destinations a world apart. So go on, get a little out there, and experience all that the Silver State has to offer. Start planning your trip at travelnevada.com.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
14-7 UNLV after a quarter of play. Let's check in on the sidelines with Steve Cofield. Steve?
Is brought to you by Ted Weens, Complete Auto Service. Interesting first quarter. First of all, the crowd has gotten really loud on this side of the field, the UNLV side of the field. They're hanging over on top of the players, so they're pretty much going at it with them. Players not responding too much. But Ricky White, what a quarter. First of all, the last catch was amazing. On the back shoulder, really went over the defender's helmet, and Ricky White was able to grab it with two hands. And I'm glad he's safe because I was down in the end zone in that corner. There ain't no room in these corners. And, man, he got that 1 foot down, and then he was, like, kind of crunched almost in half against the wall, but he bounced right up. So Ricky White off to another great start, and the guy is super tough out there on the field. It's going to back up to Matt and Caleb.
Yeah, not quite arena football. I know Hunky Cooper roaming the sidelines knows a thing or two about crashing into the wall in the arena game. But for Ricky White so far, Caleb, 4 catches, 67 yards, and his 7th touchdown of the year. Ho-hum, just another quarter for the All-American.
Yeah, it's a really good start. I think he's the primary receiver, and everybody understands that. And the variety of ways they can get him the ball, and that speaks to his diversity as a wide receiver. He gets yards after catch with the screen game, and, of course, he can go over the top and make catches on top of defenders' heads. So very versatile as a wide receiver. And then mix in his special teams play as well. He's one of the most versatile players in all of college football. So his draft stock just continues to climb. Another good start for Ricky White. But another good start for this offense as well. Kylan James has had his name called several times here on some great interior running. The offensive line has brought their big boy pads, and they're creating some lanes for anybody who takes the ball in the handoff. Jet as well has had a couple of good runs in the first quarter. So the offense now on the march, 2nd and short here for this offensive possession.
UNLV looking to add on to their 7-point lead as they'll flip the field and go from right to left, south to north here at Maverick Stadium. They've got the ball on the Utah State 25-yard line as Malik Williams leads this Rebel offense back out onto the field. Kylan James and Christian Moore to his right in the go-go. 2 receivers to the right side as well. The give is up the middle. Kylan James continuing to pummel the defense. He pushes it inside the 20. They're going to mark him down at the 20-yard line before Clyde Washington wrestled him to the turf. Gets him inside the NV Energy red zone once more.
I'm just so impressed with the UNLV offensive line right now, as well as the tight ends, pushing the line of scrimmage 6 or 7 yards downfield, just getting great push up the middle of the field.
Ballon guy, the tight end to the right, as well as Ricky White and Corey Thompson Jr. Malik Williams on play action looking for the top of the formation. It's incomplete. Look into the goal line as he tried to find Corey Thompson Jr. Blaine Spires put a hurting on Malik Williams as he made that throw.
Again, going with the RPO quarterback read, trying to throw the wheel route, a little bit of a back shoulder there over the head of the intended receiver and out of bounds. So No gain, incomplete pass, stops the clock, 14:28 to go here. UNLV has it 2nd and 10.
Thompson back out at the top of the formation with White. Warren Ballanguy, both on the left side of the formation. Fake up the middle. Malik Williams keeps it himself off tackle right. Gets it inside the 20-yard line, moving towards the sideline, and he'll be ushered out of bounds. Spotting it at the 16-yard line. Ike Larson, the free safety, once more pushing him out.
And again, the free safety being instrumental in the quarterback keeper. The triple option game, and there just a simple read option, has been very good for the Rebel offense so far with Malik Williams. So the safeties are now a part of the gap containment. And that time, Haj able to get around the corner for a nice gain on 2nd down, making 3rd down more manageable.
Brings up a Raising Cane's 3rd down and 5 to go with the ball on the 16-yard line. Rebels need to get it to the 11 for a new set of downs. Trips to the right, including Ballanguy, Thompson, and DeJesus. Ricky White by himself on the left. Fumbled snap as Malik Williams picks it up. He'll roll out to the right on a broken play. Fires near the end zone. It's incomplete. Looking for Ballanguy, who laid out on the attempt. And in there to knock it away was the safety, Jordan Vincent. Brings up a 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit as Caden Chittenden jogs out onto the field.
That's a real shame because Jacob DeJesus, I think, was the primary receiver there on the crossing route. He got double teamed, and if Hodge is able to get his eyes up there quicker, he has his tight end sitting at the chains for a nice gain. Unfortunately, he was busy trying to pick the snap up off the ground, so the Rebels with an error to really derail this drive. A couple of plays consecutively that were negative, and Caden Chittenden will be out to try the field goal for 3 points.
33-yarder from the right hash with Marshall Nichols on the hold. Ben Lisk on the snap. The snap good. The hold down. The kick is up. The end-over-end flyer is through. So Caden Chittenden makes his 12th kick in 14 tries on the 2024 season. And the Rebels extend their lead. They're on top by double digits. 17-7. UNLV with 13:37 to go in half number 1. Ensuing kickoff coming up on the other side of the break. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
If you need to sell your house,
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
Dad, people say I've got some big shoes to fill.
Well, you do, kid. Look at these. You know what they say about big shoes.
Yeah. It means I've got a lot to live up to, all right? 30 years of helping sellers.
A whole bunch to live up to.
Offering no interest cash advances, paying for repairs up front, and getting top dollar every time, and buying distressed properties.
Better recognized, kid. That's right. But don't worry. We're doing it together, me and you, building on that legacy and ensuring that every client gets the best deal possible.
So if you're even considering buying or selling a home in any price range,
what's the number?
Give us a call. 702-310-6683 or visit therealestateguyLV.com for details.
Jacob, I'm building the path.
Dad, I'm lighting the way. Together,
we are the real estate guys, helping you move forward one home at a time.
eXp Realty, license number 3886.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
With 13:37 to go in the second quarter, the Rebels lead the Aggies 17-7. UNLV football presented by Southern Nevada Chevy Dealers. With impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and powerful engines, Chevy Silverado, Colorado, and Tahoe have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. See your Southern Nevada Chevy dealer. So the Rebels' last drive, Caleb, ending with 3 instead of 7 as they extend their lead to 17-7. And find a way to get points. That's the most important thing at this stage of the game. Find a way to get points. And before we get there, we'll step aside 10 seconds for station ID.
Laugh your way to work with the Press Box. Weekday mornings starting at 7 here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM. KWWN Las Vegas.
So the Rebels offensively getting 3 instead of 7, but they'll take the points however they can get them at this point.
Absolutely. They want to keep that red zone efficiency high. Obviously, 7 points is preferred, but the way your defense is played outside of that last drive, you think you can hold on to a lead and you think you can extend drives. Rebels have looked good offensively, and really it's been their own mistakes that have kept them out of the end zone on these possessions. So they will have to clean things up. The snap seemed to be good. It hit Malik Williams in the hands and just took his focus off of it, trying to get his eyes to the routes on that 3rd and 5 attempt. So the Rebels forced to settle for the field goal, and the defense forced to make some corrections after what the Aggies were able to do, getting on the board for the first time late in that first quarter. We'll see if they've made those adjustments and if they come out and get back to some shutdown defense here in the second quarter.
Caden Chittenden gets this one underway from the 35-yard line. Sends a high fly through the back of the end zone once more as the teams trade touchbacks. A 25-yard starting field position for Utah State. So far, the quarterback, Spencer Petras, efficient. 7 out of 8, 58 yards. He has been sacked twice, though, and he's been flushed out of the pocket more than that.
And really what's the surprise of the game so far is the way that the Aggies have been able to get Faison going. And against this light box, they've made the right decision in handing it off most of the time. I don't think that's what they want to be from an identity standpoint, so you could say that's a win for the Rebels. But obviously they want to get into locking down Faison in this ground game.
Petras motions the running back Faison into the backfield. He pulls it out of the belly and will run it himself off the left side of the formation. Breaks a tackle, loses the ball at the 45. Jackson Woodard falls on top of it. The ruling on the field is a fumble. Jackson Woodard on a fumble punched out by Charles Correa turns the ball over, and the Rebels, who have one of the best turnover margins in the country, add to it there.
It's a great job from start to finish on that play, creating penetration, blowing that play up at the mesh point, forcing Petras, who's an uncomfortable runner, to tuck it on the pull and run it. And Charles Correa, who's on the field for some extended time here, the freshman linebacker forcing the fumble, punching it out perfectly, and Jackson Woodard on the spot with the recovery. Rebels offense will take over on the plus side of the 50. Look at the shot play as the Rebels are trying to convert on a turnover.
Not quite a Charles Tillman peanut punch, but just about as good for Charles Correa. So the Rebel offense with the ball on the Utah State 43-yard line to get this drive started. The give is up the middle to Jet Thomas, and Jordan Vincent hanging on him from the line of scrimmage goes for a ride as Jet is able to pick up 5 yards, sets up 2nd down and 5, and the Rebels back to the line quickly.
That's one of the things Jet has improved in the offseason, his physicality with the ball in his hands. A year under his belt and a year weight room. He's really been physical when he has the ball.
DeJesus in motion from the top of the formation. They give it up the middle to Jet Thomas. He puts a foot in the ground and makes a cut to the 30-yard line before he's tripped up. Thomas nearly brought down at the line of scrimmage, but Clyde Washington and Amari Okeke eventually trip him up. Sets down a Raising Cane's 3rd down and 3.
Great job keeping his feet there. There's some pressure right at the middle. Jack Haas gets pushed into his lap as he takes the handoff. Rebels on the fake end around. Jet able to keep his feet and make a positive play out of that. Could have been a disastrous negative play, but 3rd and short for the Rebels. They've still got the ground game as Greg Burrell for the first time checks into the ball game.
UNLV yet to convert on 3rd down. They are 0 for 3. Ricky White on the right side of the formation, watching as Malik Williams keeps it himself, cuts it across the 30. He's got the 1st down and more, across the 25, down to the 20. He is pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Another 1st down run for Malik Williams in 4 carries. He's picked up 2 first downs.
EOS Fitness 1st down for Malik Williams gets the Rebels into the NV Energy red zone. I got to teach him how to sell that late hit out of bounds. He could have taken a flop and maybe drawn a flag, but great 1st down run by Malik Williams.
Have him learn from one of the best, right? He's got the ball at the 18-yard line in the NV Energy red zone. He drops back to pass, firing to the top of the formation. It's caught by Kane. He spins into the end zone. Oh, what a score by Casey Kane, covered by DJ Graham. He said no matter. Malik Williams finds him on the back shoulder for his 2nd touchdown pass of the night.
And that's what you have to do against the one-on-one press man coverage. You have to win anytime a defense dares to cover these talented wide receivers one-on-one with no safety help. The back shoulder fade has been money for Malik Williams so far. There he connects with Casey Kane, his 2nd touchdown in 2 weeks. Great job by Casey Kane. Great throw by Malik Williams. Way to capitalize on a turnover generated by the defense.
Field goal unit out for the extra point as Caden Chittenden kicks it up and splits the uprights. A 24-7 lead for UNLV with 11:56 to go. Well, Caleb, they say good things come to those who wait. Casey Kane waited almost 4 complete seasons before his first collegiate touchdown. He's been rewarded for his patience with touchdown grabs in back-to-back weeks. The Rebels extend the lead. Utah State gets the ball when we return. 11:56 to go in the first half, 24-7. The Rebels opening up a lead here in the first half. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24 monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in, and go 5 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Rebel Football is presented by Modelo, the official beer sponsor of the college football playoffs. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo, the reward for full-time fans. And also by Intermountain Health. Hello, Las Vegas. Hello, Sunset over the Strip. We're Intermountain Health, and we're here to be a part of your Las Vegas life, and we're here to help you live an even healthier one. Intermountain Health, official health partner of UNLV Athletics. Along with Steve Cofield and Caleb Herring, I'm Matt Everett. 24-7, their UNLV lead after another touchdown drive and another touchdown throw from Haj Malik Williams. He's now accounted for 10 total touchdowns in 2 and not even 1/2 games as the UNLV starter. He's got this go-go offense humming, Caleb, and he's done it by being very efficient from start to finish.
Yeah, and that's been really the staple of Haj Malik Williams' game, is efficiency. And that should be the staple of every quarterback's game. And the term game manager has been thrown out there a lot when you're talking about quarterback play, and a lot of people may have mistakenly taken that as sort of a negative thing. And maybe it was intended as such by the original coiner of that phrase, but managing a game efficiently is the model of quarterback play. And any great quarterback will tell you it starts there. If you're able to be efficient, the explosive plays and all the highlight material comes on top of that. But winning is built on efficiency as a quarterback. The good habits you practice, being efficient with the ball, distributing it to your playmakers. And you've seen now 2 different wide receivers get into the end zone on some accurate throws by Haj Malik Williams. Great start offensively, great half. Still plenty of football left to play.
Haj Malik Williams now with 8 touchdowns to just 1 interception on the year. Caden Chittenden, it's a line drive screamer to the near side. It barely finds the end zone before going out of bounds. Almost a costly mistake in the special teams game, but Utah State will start at their own 25-yard line after the touchback.
Yeah, he ripped one down the third base line, and it stayed fair in the coffin corner there. Hopefully the Dodgers can do some of that tonight. I'll be looking for some updates on the scores and some quality MLB action in the playoffs here in October. But second quarter action for the Rebels. Defense back out on the field after creating the turnover.
1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 7th, and the winner go home game 5 in the NLDS. Spencer Petras leads Utah State out on the field offensively, gives it up the middle to Faison. He is crunched. Oh, what a hit after a gain of 3. Coming in to lay the boom was Jet Elad, the Canadian missile from deep in the backfield.
It's a great job by Jet setting the edge defensively and squeezing the edge once he realizes the run is going up the middle. You mentioned it, laying the boom. We're going to see more of that from Jet Elad in the safety help.
11:30 and counting to go in the first half. Petras to pass, fires to the far side. Hash hits complete to Royals at the 45. He's knocked down in Utah State territory by a yard, down to the 49-yard line before Cam Oliver wrestled him down. We're going to see a lot of that connection as the Aggies go back to the line of scrimmage. Trips to the right. One receiver to the top of the formation is Royals. Faison on the handoff off the left tackle. Gets it into Rebel territory. Tackled at the 44. And it was Cam Oliver combining with Jalen Catalon from his safety spot on the stop. At the 11-minute mark here in the second quarter, as the Aggies continue with the tempo, brings up a 2nd down and 5. Rebels looking to stop the momentum. Play action, looking to the left. It's knocked down, it's picked. Oh, and a grab by Jackson Woodard at the 45. He's at midfield, into Utah State territory at the 40. He is spun down, and what a pick by Jackson Woodard. His 3rd of the year. That one might have found him.
Jackson Woodard coming on the pressure up the middle, realizes he's not going to get there. As he's scraping over the top from his linebacker position on the long, delayed RPO action, just reading the eyes of the quarterback, finds himself right underneath the slant that's coming behind him. I don't think that Petras ever saw him. Throws that right into the waiting arms of Jackson Woodard, picks it off and shows off some speed around the corner. Gets a nice little return into plus territory for the offense. Another turnover on back-to-back possessions, and who else but Jackson Woodard, the captain, coming up with both of them.
He talked with Steve Cofield earlier in the week about how upset he was at the 2 potential interceptions he dropped last week. Not the case here on that Belfort property restoration forced turnover. So Haj Malik Williams leads the Rebel offense in Aggie territory. He fakes the play action left. He'll take it himself to the right, across the 40, down to the 35. Out of bounds after a gain of 2. 5th rush for Haj Malik Williams. OKK on the stop. Still looking at the replays of that Jackson Woodard interception. I said that ball found him because he just kind of jumped and it landed in his hands. Showing off the sticky fingers on his 3rd pick of the year, 4th of his career with UNLV. 2 running back to the left. Haj Malik Williams fakes it and keeps it himself. He goes all the way to the left side, cuts it back up to the middle. He takes a big hit near the 30-yard line. Able to pick up 5, but there is a flag down on the other side.
As well as an Aggie defender down slow to get up, and the training staff's out to attend him. Looks like this flag's going to be against the Rebels as the offensive line starts to walk back. We'll see what exactly the call is here.
Holding, number 74 offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, replay, second down.
And the penalty goes against Jalen St. John, the left tackle. That's why Haj Malik Williams had all that space to the outside.
And it's unfortunate there because I think the play fake really fooled the defender on the edge. And, the big left tackle is just trying to hold on to his block as he thinks that run's going front side. But the deception there as the defender tries to redirect, you got to get your hand out of the cookie jar and let him go. Gets caught there. Backs the Rebels up for the first time behind the chains.
And William Holmes, who was in on the stop, heads to the sideline being treated for an injury. So it brings up a second down and long. 2nd and 18 to go with the ball on the 45-yard line. Williams to pass. Looking over the middle of the field, nothing doing there. Rolls to the right. Fires it short, and it's incomplete. Nobody really in the area as he got crushed as a penalty comes in late. And here come the Rebel offensive line to help Haj Malik Williams off the turf. He took a big shot, probably a little bit late.
Took a really big shot there. We'll see. They're discussing the penalty. It looked like Haj Malik trying to find a little bit of a scramble drill late. Just a miscommunication with Bradley. Bradley broke up the field down the middle. Haj Malik Williams threw it towards the middle. Falls incomplete. The officials gather to discuss the penalty, and if it stands, it looks like the Rebels will have potential first down. There is some communication here. Haj Malik Williams is trying to discuss things with the officials as well. Maybe he's hearing what they're saying and doesn't agree with it. So maybe this is not so easily a roughing the passer penalty against the Aggies.
Yeah, Rebels seem upset as all the officials meeting in a huddle at the 45-yard line of UNLV. This is an extended conversation. It was Big Kean Sloan, the senior DN, that made the hit.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 98, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So they will make the call that we had anticipated, the roughing the passer that gives UNLV a critical first down on 2nd and 18. All of a sudden turns into first down.
Yeah, conversion by way of penalty. We're too familiar with that. I haven't seen the replay here yet to give us a look at exactly what was called, but obviously UNLV will be fortunate to be on this side of the penalty call that gives them a first down conversion.
So they've got a 1st and 10. They've got the ball at the Aggie 30-yard line. Jacob DeJesus by himself at the top of the formation as the give is up the middle to Kylan James. He goes off the right tackle, pushes it across the 25-yard line, moving it all the way to the 22 on an 8-yard pickup. Kylan James, it's like tackling a fire hydrant, just impossible to do.
Finally got a look at the roughing the passer. Slightly late. You can argue if you're an Aggie fan that wasn't roughing the passer, but this day and age, that might get thrown every time.
One tight end to each side of the formation as the whistle's blown before the play is snapped, and a timeout called by Utah State with 9:35 to go here in the second quarter. 24-7 the Rebel lead as Nate Dreiling takes his first timeout, and it gives us a chance to talk about this interim head coach, one of 2 interim head coaches in all of college football. The other one, Fresno State interim head coach Tim Skipper. Rebels playing both of them within a 3-week stretch, but a really interesting situation as far as the coaching here at Utah State. Nate Dreiling was hired this past spring to be the defensive coordinator, elevated to head coach on July 2nd, and he is, at 33 years old, the youngest head coach in the FBS.
Yeah, so a tough spot for him. Obviously, there's some turmoil going on with the Aggies program under the former coach Blake Anderson, and a lot of that drama is still to be sorted out, so there's some things that are ongoing as far as investigations and whatever penalties are going to be doled out. But you find yourself in an unfortunate situation for your head coaching debut, the youngest head coach, as you mentioned, in college football, and really thrust into a do-or-die situation. Not what he expected to sign up for earlier in the spring, but here he is, the head coach of the Aggies, going against UNLV.
Made a name for himself at New Mexico State as the DC the last 2 years. After the timeout, Kylan James gets a handoff off right tackle. He gets it across the 20, inside the 10, near the goal line. He punches it in. Oh, what a run by Kylan James. His 2nd touchdown rush of the day is his 3rd of the year, and UNLV starting to pull it on here in the first half.
That is a great run by Kylan James. Again, out of the pistol, getting right downhill. Has a very good sense for when the defense collapses on the interior, just barely tiptoeing the sideline, not satisfied going out of bounds inside the 5, lowers the shoulder and finishes in the end zone. A great run by Kylan James, 2nd touchdown, and he is a bruiser with the ball in his hands. That's how you finish a run, young running back.
A 22-yard scamper that makes it 30-7. Here's Caden Chittenden in the field goal unit as he kicks the extra point up, and he kicks it through. 31-7. UNLV with 9:26 to go in the second quarter. Keep in mind, this performance from Kylan James comes after he had one rush for 2 yards last week against Syracuse. So James, the feature, back here in the early going, and the Rebels with a 24-point lead. We'll step aside, back with more from Maverick Stadium on homecoming here at Utah State. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
You have a growing company, and you need to get your employees trained for a commercial driver's license. Let Truck U CDL Training of Las Vegas drive your company's growth and success. No matter how large or small your company is, Truck U offers corporate rates for CDL, A, and B training. Class schedules are available days, evenings, and weekends, with little or no loss in productivity. Check out truckulv.com to find out more. That's truckulv.com.
Hey, it's Cofield. I'm with my friend Jake from Desert Springs Pools. Now that summer is over, are people still buying pools in the fall and winter?
Yes, Steve, absolutely. It's still a great time to buy. You know, when the temperature drops, everyone kind of forgets about their pool, but right now is the perfect time to start planning for their backyard and pool and have it ready for next summer when it gets hot again. And also, right now we're offering free upgrades on color LED lights.
Desert Springs Pools. 10 weeks to wow. Don't wait.
UNLV football is presented by Sierra Air Conditioning and Plumbing, and a quality service their top priority, and was voted best air conditioning company in Las Vegas. Our highly trained technicians will make sure the job is done right the first time. Sierra is here to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call Sierra Air Conditioning and Plumbing today for service that soars above the rest. 9:26 to go in the half. 31-7. UNLV starting to dominate here. Kylan James with a bruising 22-yard touchdown run to the far sideline, barely tiptoeing inbounds. And Kylan James showing off some of the durability here that we expected to see after transferring from Central Arkansas.
And showing the depth of the running back room as well. Jet is one of the feature backs, and we anticipated he'd get more workload, and he has. He had some explosive runs as well, but Kylan James has really been the workhorse of this first half at least. And how about UNLV complementary football, creating 2 turnovers, and off of those turnovers, the offense gives 2 touchdowns. So a great job by this team playing complementary football, defense generating 2 turnovers, and then offense helping to put points on the board. Great start to the first half.
Talk about complimentary football. 169 yards rushing, 131 through the air. It's been just about dead even the whole way as well, going back and forth between running and passing. Right now, Kylan James, 7 carries, 93 yards. That's over 13 yards per carry. He's found ways to make big chunk plays happen on the ground. So Caden Chittenden getting set to kick this one off. He kicks it in the air, and Jalen Royals will watch it go out of the back of the end zone once more. Caden Chittenden doing nothing but punting the touchbacks through the back of the end zone. So Utah State will get the ball again from their own 25-yard line. They're rushing for 56 yards so far, passing for 78. Spencer Petras, efficient, 8 out of 10, but the interception and the fumble both from the 7th-year senior.
And that's been one way that the Rebels have been able to get off the field defensively is those turnovers, but I'd like to see them be a little bit more stout against the ground. I understand that's what they're giving up here schematically, but I'd like to see the Rebels get in the backfield and stop the run.
Petras moving from left to right, gives it up the middle to Faison. No, check that. That's Herschel Turner Jr. off the right tackle. He is wrestled down at the 24-yard line, and there is an injured Aggie offensive lineman laying down. He now pops up as a flag is out as well. The lineman hopped up and ran back into the huddle. Here's the call.
Holding, number 54 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
It's the referee, Cal McNeil, signaling the holding call on Utah State. The right tackle, Teague Anderson, the guilty party. And after no gain on first down, it actually turns into a first down and 20 upcoming.
Now the Rebels have a favorable set of chains here as this pass shell looks to be the right decision for this set of chains.
Ball spotted on the 15-yard line as Petras takes the snap, gives it to Turner off the left tackle, coming in from the cornerback position, and making the stop was Jet Elad, flying in and bringing down the ball carrier after a gain of a yard. Jet Elad does so many things so well. His versatility, his best tool, no doubt about it. Sets up a second down and long as Petras takes the snap, looks to pass to the near side, fires it on a slant. It's caught by Hystera. That's at the 35-yard line. He takes it back across the middle of the field, works all the way back to the 30. He lost yards after the catch and didn't pick up the first down. Sets up a third down and short. Jack Hystera with his third catch.
Again, the Rebels bringing pressure, unable to get home on Petras, and You said it. The receiver gives up yardage going all the way across the field. Rebels missed a couple of tackles along the way, but able to still force a Raising Cane's third down and an opportunity to get off the field.
3rd and 3 with the ball on the Utah State 32-yard line. Spencer Petras all alone in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Now the running back Turner in motion from the bottom to the top. He drops back to pass, looking to the far side. It's complete at the 40. That's Jalen Royals. He jukes outside the 45. He's brought down at the 46-yard line. That's Jet Elad on the stop. That's a huge third down conversion. The Aggies, for what it's worth, 4 out of 6 on third down.
And Charles Correa there with his eyes in the backfield did not expand enough in his zone drop. He's supposed to be right underneath Royals on that little stop play. Late to get to his drop, and Royals converts third down.
Turner still in the backfield off the left tip of Petras with Royals to the top of the formation. 2 receivers to the right. Petras looks in that direction on the pass. Now spins, fires to the top of the formation. Turner makes the catch at the 50. Jet Elad spins him down on a big-time stop. Jet Elad with his 3rd tackle in quick succession.
The Rebels trying to get a quick substitution here. The Aggies realize that they're trying to get up to the line and catch him in a substitution. Rebels fortunate to get it off the field. That's a great job of awareness by Petras trying to get that freebie on the substitution infraction.
So now the UNLV's got their 11 on the field. Utah State slowing things up with 3 receivers to the right. He gives it to Turner off tackle left side. Jalen Dixon puts a hand on him in the backfield and spins him down for no gain. Jalen Dixon, you're not going anywhere when big number 50 gets a hand on you.
It's a great job on the front side of that attack, being stout in your gap, and then once the runner gets there, breaking free from the block and making the tackle for a short gain.
3rd down and 7. Raising Cane's 3rd down. Petras back to pass. Pressured in the backfield. Dixon gets a hand on him. Couple other Rebels coming to finish him off. Oh, what a big time stop on 3rd down. It was Tat Martinson falling on him for the stop.
It's a great job of relentless pressure provided. Correa almost had an opportunity at a strip sack from behind, but you mentioned it. Big Tat comes up with a sack. Fortunate there from Petras to get back near the line of scrimmage, but looks like the offense is staying on the field on 4th and 5.
They're 5 out of 12 on 4th down this year. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the bottom of the formation. Petras calls for the snap. The Rebels send pressure. Petras hit as he throws, and it's intercepted! Oh, what a grab at the 38-yard line. Jet Elad on the interception. 2nd interception. 3rd turnover forced by this Rebel defense. Petras pressured from the time he made the snap. 4th and 5, no more. Jet Elad turns it over for the Rebels.
Charles Correa applies the pressure right in Petras' face. He's hit as he throws that, and it's right into the waiting arms of Jet Elad. That is defense at its finest, working on a string, applying pressure, forcing an errant throw, and coming down with the INT. The Rebels now creating 3 turnovers on the ball game, and the offense now back on the field looking to capitalize before the end of the half.
First pick of the year for Jet Elad. Sets up the Rebel offense at the 36-yard line with 6:19 to play. 31-7. UNLV on top. Malik Williams to pass. Lets one rip to the near sideline. Ricky White and one-on-one. Oh, what a catch! Ricky White just brought that thing down from the heavens over Avante Dickerson at the Utah State 34. Another tremendous show-stealing grab for the All-American Ricky White. How did he find this ball through traffic? Malik Williams dropping it in the bucket, and the Rebels driving once more with the ball at the 34. 2 receivers to the right side, including Christian Moore. Greg Burrell, the running back in the backfield as well in the pistol. Williams back to pass, looks left, now rolls right. He's got a defender in his face. He's tripped up, and he goes down in the backfield. First sack of the game. This one by Kean Sloan, big number 98 for Utah State. First time that Malik Williams has gone down.
And that's really just a play you can't have. He's going again with the RPO, trying to get it to Ricky White on the slant. And again, I understand trying to fit it into him, but that decision to pull it there, he's left with nowhere to go as it was covered. Again, the ground game has been so great. Sometimes it's just the best decision as a quarterback to just hand it off, let the running backs eat a little bit. There, Hodge takes a massive sack and backs the Rebels up behind the chains.
2nd down and 21 with 5:10 and counting to go in the second quarter. With 2 receivers to each side, Williams dumps it down to Burrell on the screen. He gets around a tackler at the 35, now up to the 40, and pushing the pile, moving 3 Utah State defenders is Greg Burrell. The reception, his first of the year. It gets the Rebels back near the original line of scrimmage. It brings up a 3rd down and a short 12.
It's a great job breaking that initial tackle as Utah State actually read the screen well and were there to make the play, but the freshman fights off the first defender and then fights for some extra yards, and 3rd and 12 is no easy task for sure, but the Rebels get into a spot on the field where maybe you even play for a field goal here with the way Chittenden was looking in the pregame. So great job by Greg Burrell making this a more manageable field position for the Rebels.
Ball's in the 36, 3rd down and 12. Dropping back to passes Williams. Green stays in as a pass blocker. Williams is going to tuck it and run it himself. Gets it down to the 30. Tackled at the 28-yard line. It's not enough for the first down. And now it's decision time for Barry Odom and company. It's a 4th and 4. Here comes the field goal unit. Ball spotted on the 28. That's going to make it a 45-yard kick for Caden Chittenden, which would match his season long.
And there, just the awareness in the situation, the Aggies brought pressure. He had Kaleo Belunga right off the line of scrimmage. Would have got the same yardage there, but great job getting this into field goal range. I think Chittenden has it from here based on what he did in the pregame. He could have been good from 55. And this one looks like it's going to be teed up from 45.
Kicking to the north end zone is Caden Chittenden. The snap good. The hold down. The kick is up. It's got the leg and it's got the accuracy. Oh, what a kick by Caden Chittenden. That matches his career long as the best kicker in Nevada history. Stayed home this year and is now 12 or 13, check that, out of 15 to start his collegiate career. It is so nice to have that weapon in the back pocket from nearly 50 yards out. The true freshman, Caden Chittenden, just another tool in the belt of Barry Odom.
It's a great job by Chittenden coming through on a deep field goal attempt. After a shaky start in the Houston game, he's able to really lock in and dial in, not just on the field goal attempts, but he's been booming things out for consistent touchbacks in recent weeks as well. So Chittenden is a welcomed asset to UNLV, another guy that stayed home here in Las Vegas. So welcome to the bunch, Caden. He was one of the guys in the pregame, too. He walked out to the warm-ups, a bunch of boos from his homecoming crowd on the student section. He was fired up trying to amp the crowd and let him know to rain the boos if you want to. He's going to get out there and perform. So far, he's been great with the field goals here in Logan.
You don't always want your kicker to rile up the other team's crowd, unless it's your kicker, right? Caden Chittenden on the kickoff. Gets this one in the air. Another low line drive to the near sideline, but it finds the U in Utah State painted in the end zone. And with 3:37 to go, it's 34-7 UNLV. Spencer Petras in this Utah State offense just trying to salvage something offensively with the Rebels kicking it off to start the second half.
Yeah, and I should mention as well, Jose Pisano is in attendance.
In the house.
The legendary Rebel kickers of old. By old, I mean last year. The former All-American is here obviously supporting his Rebel as an alumni at this point. And obviously liking what he sees from Caden Chittenden as well.
Jose, a native of Lehigh here in Utah. Going from left to right is Spencer Petras as he fakes a handoff, throws a tunnel screen to Hestera, complete after 2 yards, and he takes a massive hit. Oh, what a grab and a hit by Jalen Catalon. He walloped him in the backfield.
Great hit. Jaden Catalon looks a little shaken up, getting back into his formation, showing some toughness there, diagnosing that tunnel screen and making that play.
2nd down and 7 with 3:18 to go. Petras to pass. He looks to the far sideline. He's looking for Royals, and it's incomplete. Covered by Jarvis Ware. They were trying to go on that far side boundary, but it was no good.
Jarvis Ware getting into the rotation here, giving Cam Oliver a spell on the sideline. The depth of the secondary coming in handy with this tempo, especially of the Aggies. But Raising Cane's 3rd down for the Rebel defense, trying to force a 3-and-out here, give their offense an opportunity to put more points on the board before the half.
Correa and Woodard, the 2 linebackers. The Rebels with just 3 down linemen on the defensive line. They bring some pressure. Petras is blown up. Oh, what a hit by Jet Eland on an incomplete pass. He came out of nowhere. Petras never saw him, and he took a hit right to the midsection, forcing the incompletion.
And that's pressure again right down Main Street. As a quarterback, interior pressure is the worst type of pressure. Jet Eland applies. He got the interception the last time out, and this time he's applying the pressure. Great legal hit on the quarterback as he tried to make that delivery. Forces a 3-and-out. Rebels will send out the punt return unit. Looks like they may be lining up with some extra bodies up front, trying to come after this one on the rugby-style punts that have been hoisted out there by the Aussie.
34-7 UNLV with 3:07 to go in the half. Stephen Kutzenly back with his heels on his own 13-yard line. Rebels showing pressure, and a whistle blows before the snap, a penalty, and it looks like a delay of game.
Prior to the snap, delay game, number 63 offense, 5-yard penalty, remain 4th down.
And that play is generated by UNLV and what they were doing at the line of scrimmage. They had the Aggies confused and afraid of what pressure they were dialing up. They had to bring additional bodies in the interior to try to protect that punt. And in that delay, lost track of the time. And the clock wound down, and they'll back up 5 more yards. We'll see if the Rebels elect to continue with that pressure if they want to set up a return in this situation for Jacob DeJesus, who's waiting at the 35.
Yeah, Ricky White.
3:07.
A looming presence.
3:07 on the game clock. 3:07. Game clock will start on my signal.
3:07. That clock wound all the way down to 2:26.
Yeah, it started the clock running after the punt was boomed, after the flag was thrown. So it should be a stopped clock until the play starts. The incomplete pass on third down will let this clock stop at 3:07. Rebels will have the ball back.
Ball snapped from the 23-yard line. Kotzenle rolls right and kicks a low-line drive that DeJesus grabs at his own 45. Makes a man miss to the near side. He's at the 50. Down to the 40 of Utah State. Tiptoes his way near the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. What body control there by Jacob DeJesus. First of all, to make that catch on a full sprint coming in, and then to stay in bounds and pick up extra yardage. They spot him all the way down at the 31-yard line.
Not just the elusiveness, but the bravery to get up there and catch that one. There's a defender right in his face and gets to the wall on the left sideline. Great return by Jacob DeJesus. Preserves field position by coming up and making that catch, and then adds a little bit more to it. Gets a couple of additional first downs, as Barry Odom likes to say. Steals some first downs in the return game. He stole a couple there with a nice return, well inside Aggie territory.
UNLV looking to add on to their 34-7 lead. 2:57 to go in the half. They've got the ball at the Aggie 31-yard line. Malik Williams on play action. Makes a defender miss as he rolls right. Now moves back towards the line of scrimmage. Nothing going as he's brought down at the 37-yard line by Kean Sloan. That play was blown up from the start. Williams under pressure from the snap.
And it tried to get a little tricky there with the fake to DeJesus, trying to get Jet on the underneath slide route. Safety from depth comes down on it, but Haj may have had an opportunity to get that out quick to him in the flat and let him make that defender miss. Unfortunately, takes another sack here in the first half.
Brings up second down and 16 from the 37. Two receivers to the right side as Williams gives it to Thomas off the right tackle. He's tripped up by Sloan after getting back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 6. Could have been a lot more with that shoestring grab by Sloan.
Just barely tripped up there. And something to keep in mind, too, you're seeing a lot of guys losing their footing in situations where maybe they wouldn't have. This is a rubber turf, and it's an extremely rubbery turf that's hard sometimes to find your footing when you're out there at full speed like Jet has been. So we have a whistle down on the field with a 2-minute timeout now. But as I mentioned, this is a rubber turf track, and this is one of those fields that has an extreme amount of rubber. It's extremely bouncy and maybe provides a little bit more cushion on the landing, but sometimes with your cleats, if you don't get a good traction on a step or something like that, then you lose your balance a little easier down there. Something we felt when we were down there in the pregame walking around on the field a little bit. Really spongy surface. A lot of teams across the country are moving to more of a sand-based turf, as UNLV has done so at their home stadium and their practice facilities. That sand-based turf is a lot better when you're talking about injury prevention. It's something that a lot of teams have moved to in recent years, but this is one field that has stuck to that old-school rubber turf feel. So UNLV, maybe Jaden Thomas there, a little bit of losing your footing due to that, not necessarily the shoestring tackle. He stumbled a couple of times as he's trying to exit out the back door on the ground, but gets it back near the original line of scrimmage, and Rebels, after forcing a 3-and-out and after an explosive return by Jacob DeJesus, facing a 3rd and long here on the other side of the timeout.
A 2-minute timeout, as good a time as any to take a look at some of the stats from this one so far. Malik Williams, 9 out of 14 for 170 yards and 2 touchdown passes. He's also rushed 8 times, which is the most of any Rebel, for just 30 yards. Kylan James, 7 carries, 93 yards. And how about Ricky White? 5 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. He's averaging 20 yards of completion as he approaches his 3rd straight 100-yard receiving game.
And it looks like the Rebels may have a 100-yard receiver and a 100-yard rusher in the same game. And Kylan James is creeping his way up there as far as his numbers go. We'll see how much the Rebels let off the gas in the second half and if we're able to chase stats later in this ballgame. But UNLV is off to a dominant start. And this is what they expected to do. It's a great way to rebound after the tough loss at home to Syracuse. Trying to move to 2-0, and they've got essentially a half left in play. But this is an opportunity for some situational football. The final 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second are crucial points in every ball game. While it may not be detrimental to the outcome of this one, you want to execute in these type of situations. Also, an opportunity to execute in a 3rd and long situation. We haven't seen the Rebels with a straight drop back pass that has been really efficient. So if we can get Malik on some reps here with a drop back pass, also understanding the situation. You have points on the board potentially with the way that Caden Chittington has been performing. So if you just get a few yards here, you may feel comfortable settling for a field goal. I know you don't like to hear that, but sometimes that's just the best move. You like to see your quarterback, who's really good with his decision-making, read the field, take what they give him, and be smart with the football and end this possession with more points.
Talked about the adjustments pregame. One of the adjustments we wanted to see was a more downfield style in the passing game. Listen to this. Say Rebels averaging 18.9 yards per passing play. Utah State averaging just over 9, so double and then some is the advantage for UNLV in the average yards per passing play. So here we go. Out of the 2-minute timeout, 34-7 UNLV leads. It's 3rd down and 11 with the ball on the Utah State 32-yard line. Rebels come out of the timeout with Ricky White by himself on the left side of the formation. Ballanguy and Kane off the left tip of Jalen St. John. Faking it to Jet Thomas. The throw on the far side to Ricky White. He makes the catch. He's at the 5, lunging across the pylon for the touchdown. Oh, what a play by Ricky White. Another throw from Haj Malik Williams. His 3rd touchdown pass of the game. His 2nd to Ricky. And the Rebels at 40 points in the first half.
Again, the Aggies going with press coverage on one of the best receivers in the country. This time they tried to have some safety help over the top, but the slight delay on the RPO kept that safety's eyes inside. He's not able to get over the top, and a perfect throw from Haj Malik Williams drops it in the bucket. Ricky White with the awareness to stay in bounds and extend that over the pylon for a touchdown here inside 2 minutes to go. Great job by UNLV creating some points at the end of the half.
Caden Chittenden pooches the extra point through, and it's 41-7 UNLV with 1:53 to play in the second quarter. That's a score you hear a lot of times at the end of the game. What a catch, though, by Ricky White. Another throw by Haj Malik Williams that was dropped in the bucket, so to speak. Absolutely pitch perfect, the perfect amount of touch as well.
And really just a couple of misses on the deep shots. He started the game with a miss to Casey Kane that could have been his first touchdown, but since then he's been really efficient on the deep throw. 20 yards to the air. The Rebels have found a way to make it happen. We talked about before the game that the Aggies secondary was really the strong point of their team. And so far, the UNLV wide receivers have had their way. Ricky White gets his 2nd touchdown of the game, and Haj Malik Williams is finding his rhythm on the deep throw.
Ricky White over the century mark again. 6 catches, 128 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's his 3rd straight game and 4th this season with over 100 yards. He's gone 4 out of his last 5 games over 100 yards receiving. Caden Chittenden kicks this one off. He puts it through the back of the end zone. Utah State will take over with 1:53 to go in the half, trying to come back from this 34-point deficit. One of the interesting things, talking to Barry Odom kind of throughout the week, throughout the season, no doubt on that sideline, he's managing this game and coaching it as if it were a 0-0 game just getting started.
The standard doesn't change. The scoreboard might as well say 0-0 here. The winning standard, the habits, the expectations are the same no matter who's out there, no matter what the score says. So he's going to be coaching his tail off, and he expects the same from his assistants.
Spencer Petras, 12 out of 17 with 2 picks to this point. He fires it on a check down to the running back, face on. Oh, what a hit by Charles Correa. Absolutely laying the boom is the Vegas native for no gain. Sets up 2nd down and 10 with the clock continuing to wind. Utah State back to the line quickly. 2 receivers to each side of the formation as Petras takes the snap with 1:34 to go. He fakes it up the middle, looking to the near sideline, rips it on the slant. It's caught by Hystera at the 45-yard line. Number 14 down to the 50, and it moves the chains, stops the clocks until they get set. His pitch and catch there by Petras, 7th-year quarterback out of San Rafael, California. Takes the snap, gives it up the middle to Faison. He goes off the left hip of the left guard and brings a couple of Rebel defenders along for the ride with him, including Jalen Dixon, who eventually brings him down after a gain of 9. 2nd down and 1 in Rebel territory. Utah State trying to get some points before the half. 1:05 and counting to go in the second quarter. Play action again. Another throw to the near side is complete while sliding to Otto Tia, the 32-yard line. Tony Grimes in on the coverage. Petras spreading the ball, spreading the wealth as well, finding 3 different receivers on 3 different plays. Aggies slowing things down a bit here as they've got a 1st down and 10 to go from the UNLV 33-yard line. Under a minute to play in the half. The throw over the middle is complete. It's Tia again at the 30-yard line. They'll spot him down to the 29. Catalon and Grimes combining on the stop, and a timeout called by Nate Dreiling, the interim head coach, with 46 seconds left. The Aggies have 1 timeout left, and they are close enough to field goal range here to give you some options at the end of the second.
Yeah, and at this point, they may decide, if it comes to that, a 4th down, or they don't get the 1st down here on this set of downs, that they may settle for a field goal just to salvage some points, right, and really chip away at what is a massive first-half deficit. But so far right now, Petras has done a great job in spite of some early turnovers, a couple interceptions. Usually guys get a little gunshot, but that shows the maturity of a 7th-year senior, able to wipe the mechanism clean, come out and play the next set of downs here. He's ripping it downfield, taking advantage of some space in the secondary as the Rebels have softened their sail just a little bit here on this final drive, apparently the final drive of the first half.
Allegedly, so they say. The wind picking up a bit and blowing at the back of Petrus towards the south end zone as he comes out of the timeout, takes the snap, looking right, now left. He completes it to the tight end on the far side seam. Inside the 20-yard line goes Brock Lane. 3 Rebel defenders holding on, and a late flag comes out. Late flag comes out as there was an initial push and then a scrum ensued following.
It's like a late hit by one of the offensive linemen getting downfield after the whistle, well after the whistle, getting a shot in on one of the Rebel defenders in the pile there. The flag came in well after the play, and looks like it's against the Aggies, and their head coach is on the sideline absolutely livid at the mental error committed by his offensive line.
Looks like it was 54 Teague Anderson, the right tackle. He kind of reacted in lockstep with the head coach, Nate Dreiling.
After the play, personal foul, late hit number 54 of the offense. 15 yards, first down, Utah State.
So the personal foul against the right tackle, Teague Anderson. And that moves the Aggies back. This field position battle is critical here at the end of the half with 39 seconds to play, and UNLV on top 41-7. Diamond formation with 4 receivers to the right. Jalen Royals all by himself at the top of the formation, guarded mano-a-mano by Jarvis Ware. Petrus takes the snap, looks in that direction. Now down to the far side. Nobody to throw to, so he'll tuck it and run it himself. Takes a dive across the 25-yard line on the far hash. He spotted at the 24-yard line. Picks up 8 before Jet Elad brought him down to the turf. Clock winding with 20 seconds to go. Back to the line with 3 receivers to the right is Utah State. Petrus to pass, looking towards the near sideline. Throws it towards the sideline. It's caught by Tia. He's able to tiptoe inbounds at the 19-yard line inside the NV Energy red zone. That's a big first down with 13 seconds to go.
And he got out of bounds as well to stop the clock. So 13 seconds to go, one time out of the pocket, and they're stepping on the gas absolutely here. The Aggies inside the NV Energy red zone. And they are going to stop play to review if it was a catch. Initially, it looked like he was able to get the foot down. Not clear if he had complete possession as Tony Grimes was breathing down his neck as he tried to make his landing in bounds, but it looked to me that it was a completed pass for the first down yards and out of bounds as well. So I would guesstimate, if I was UNLV, I would be looking at getting ready to play a 1st and 10 from inside the 20-yard line here, and we're going to look at it on the in-house replay. It's a great catch on the top end, and not able to see which foot came down first and if it was in bounds. But again, on the initial look, it looked like a completed pass as he climbs the ladder to make the catch, and unless that heel came down on that first right foot, I think that's going to be a completion for the Aggies and a first down with 13 seconds to go in the half.
Well, this one being looked at under the hood. This close shave instant replay is brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol's thick and rich moisturizing lather. Start your day off right. Start it with Barbasol. Otto Tia, the big possession receiver for Utah State at 6'4", 220 pounds, native of Layton, Utah, one of many, many Utah natives here on this Utah State team. A lot of New Mexico State transfers as well, with the head coach, the interim head coach, Nate Dreiling, serving as the defensive coordinator for New Mexico State for the last 2 years. He went from one Aggies to the other as the New Mexico State Aggies. And Diego Pavia, who's now at Vanderbilt, one of the real starlings of college football last year. Nate Dreiling had a lot to do with that, and he's looking to the sideline as the referee, Cal McNeil, continues to take a look. He now removes the headset, and he'll make the call.
After review, the ruling of a completed catch stands.
So the call will stand. Nothing to overturn it. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Aggies from the 18-yard line. So UNLV will be looking to get a 2-minute offense stop. A lot of people only think of the 2-minute drill as an offensive drill, but the defense has a part in that too. UNLV wants to come up with a stop and keep the Aggies from getting into the end zone here on this drive.
Utah State does have one timeout remaining. They're bunched up on the left side of the formation. Tia all alone on the right. Now Royals in motion to the far side boundary. Petrus takes the snap, looking over the middle of the field. Now flushed out of the pocket, rolls right. He finds Faison at the 15-yard line. He's wrestled backwards by Jackson Woodard, and a flag comes out late from the defensive backfield.
Not sure what the flag is. It's thrown right where Correa was trying to make the tackle. Not sure if he got his hands up in their face mask or something like that, but a lot of time wasted on that play, down to 4 seconds in the game. The Aggies will have to call a timeout to preserve time on the clock because he was tackled inbounds and forward progress stopped. So the clock should be running at this point, if not for the penalty flag. We'll see what the discussion is here. The officials, again, near the numbers, have huddled up, and they're discussing what the penalty is.
They've spotted the ball at the 15, and referee Cal McNeil calls in another official. They're really going back and forth on this.
And if it's an offensive penalty, they may assess a 10-second runoff with this and force the Aggies to use their timeout to prevent that. But if they do that, really not sure how this is going to go. The Aggies reacted as if it's against them. At least Faison did. So we'll see what the call is after this extended discussion.
After the play, personal foul, face mask, number 3, Utah State. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
And it looked
Second down, excuse me. Second down.
And it looked like the offensive player, he's trying to shed the defender. They called it a dead ball foul, which actually helps
Utah
the
State
Aggies.
takes their third and final timeout of the half.
It kind of helps the Aggies because they get to assess and get that timeout call. If there wasn't a penalty, the half might have ended up winding out, and they would have been forced to settle for a field goal either way. So UNLV with a great stop. Charles Correa making the tackle in space. And then the defender is eligible, at least, to be face masked. And a lot of people have a misunderstanding about that. Stiff arms are allowed. You can stiff arm a defender in the face with the face mask. But once you grab a hold of it and start trying to jerk and rip it around, that's when they'll throw that face mask. It's usually not assessed. The strange part about it, that they called it a dead ball penalty.
The flag was certainly thrown during the play.
And that was unless we didn't hear the initial whistle, because forward progress stopped, and there was a scrum to try to break the tackle. And if that was stopping forward progress, that was a quick whistle. I thought that was a live ball penalty, but they assessed it as a dead ball. It'll back the Aggies up 15 yards. They initially sent their field goal unit out, but after the timeout huddle, we'll see if they do elect to go with that decision. And they do. They'll roll out the field goal kicker to try to put in looks to be about a 52-yarder, if I'm doing my math right. My math ain't mathing. I don't know. It's going to be a long one here for the Aggies.
No, it's going to be a 47-yard for the lefty, Elliot Nimrod. They call him Walmart out of Bentonville, Arkansas. It's a fake. They run it out to the right side. They flip it to him. He's all alone on the left side. Nimrod blown up by Jackson Woodard, falling near the line to gain as a late flag comes out on the Utah State sideline. No matter what happened, the half ran out. Rebels running to the locker room. What is going on? We're looking out on the field.
Time out for a flag on the field.
Half the Rebels ran to the locker room. Half of them turned around and ran back. There was a flag late, literally a couple of yards from the near sideline. Just a weird look as it was snapped and flipped to the kicker.
And I think this is going to be on the head coach here on the sideline. He was out on the field as that play was going.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Utah State bench. That 15 yards be assessed at the second half kickoff.
Just a weird ending to that first half. I think that they saw that play was not going to be successful, and they found the way to make that stop. The Rebels did.
And yeah, that was a great job by the special teams unit. A fake field goal that ended up being a busted play. It looked like the kicker was the only one who was aware that it was a fake. So UNLV stays home. We knew some trickeration would come, but they get off the field and don't allow any points at the end of the first half. Great job by the defense coming through with the big-time stop there.
And UNLV will enter the locker room on top 41-7. Doing a great job, scoring 40 points at a half for the third time in school history, the first time against an FBS opponent. 41-7, the score for UNLV at the half. Both teams go to the locker room. When we return to Maverick Stadium, we'll break this game down in a little bit more detail. And Steve Cofield's going to have a chance to catch up with the head coach, Barry Odom, as we look towards the second half as the Rebels dominant in half number one. 41-7 at the halftime break. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
There's something beautiful happening in Las Vegas. Life in Summerlin, a premium master-planned community designed to live as good as it looks, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This incredible lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to live this beautiful life. Learn more at Summerlin.com.
Pueblo Medical Imaging is a proud sponsor of UNLV Athletics and provides services at 4, soon-to-be 5 locations throughout Southern Nevada. PMI is your one-stop shop for all your radiology needs with state-of-the-art equipment and accessibility for fast and accurate diagnoses to get you back to doing what you love. PMI is Las Vegas's preferred radiology provider. For more information, go to PMILV.com. Go Rebels!
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
You love the thrill of a game-winning drive. And when it comes to exploring the wild side of Nevada, we've got a few epic drives of our own. Road trips to fill your heart. Hot springs, ghost towns, desert art. Destinations a world apart. So go on, get a little out there, and experience all that the Silver State has to offer. Start planning your trip at travelnevada.com.
This is Rebels Halftime, brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 357, and the Southern Nevada chapter of the National Electrical Contractors Association, your Las Vegas power professionals.
Back from Logan, Utah, Maverick Stadium playing host to UNLV and Utah State. If you're just tuning in, you didn't miss much. Just a 41-7 first half advantage for UNLV as we welcome you into our halftime show presented by IBEW and NECA. Caleb, dominant from start to finish in that first half was UNLV, leading 41-7 at the half. They found ways in different elements of the game to just dominate. 166 yards on the ground, 201 through the air. Haj Malik Williams, 10 out of 15 with 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Ricky White, the other to Casey Kane. Kylan James also with a pair of scores on the ground. Where do you find a fault in this game? This has gone about as well as you could have hoped if you were Barry Odom and company.
Yeah, I think the only faults you find are the self-inflicted ones. I think some missed tackles early in the game that gave Faison some traction in the ground game for the Aggies. So your defense, maybe, you can harp on the missed tackles. I'm sure that's not up to standard. Some self-inflicted wounds on the offensive side. The bobbled snap by Haj Malik Williams, taking some unnecessary sacks after big plays that really stalled out the defense or your offensive drives. But outside of that, it's been a really clean half of football for UNLV. And you mentioned the ground game getting going, and that's one of the things I wanted to see. Actually, a couple of things I wanted to see came to fruition in the first half. The Rebels got the ground game going with some explosive runs in the beginning of the game and also imposed their will, not just with the explosive runs, but up the middle with those 6-7 yards of pop, getting the offensive line finishing well down the field. So great job by the offensive line creating some ground yards. And then the deep ball connection. The Rebels have finally figured out a way to connect on the deep ball. And after missing on the first deep shot, Haj Malik Williams was dialed in with his receivers, getting some 20-plus yards through the air completion. So a great job by the offense, figuring some things out, getting some things on tape, making some defenders respect him. I mentioned the press coverage, and as a quarterback, especially with a receiver like Ricky White, if you see press man coverage, you've got to take a shot. And, of course, they've been able to come down with a couple of those deep ones. And Ricky's having a great game. Casey Kane as well getting into the end zone. So really an impressive half. Some things that weren't up to standard. And, of course, as Barry Odom is the ever-perfectionist when it comes to the winning habits, he'll find some ways to make some corrections and obviously be looking to duplicate the efforts and not change the standard in the second half. But a solid half of football. UNLV bouncing back after the loss to Syracuse, getting well on their way to a 2-0 start. We don't want to put things to bed too early here, but a great first half. UNLV looks to finish things out with another 30 minutes of ball.
Rebels with 3 forced turnovers in that first half as well, including a pair of interceptions, one by Jackson Woodard and one by Jet Elad. With 12 interceptions on the year as a team, UNLV is tied for the most in all of the FBS. They've done a great job of not only turning the ball over on defense, but of limiting the turnovers offensively. It's one thing that Barry Odom harps on time after time after time, winning that turnover battle. And UNLV now with 3 turnovers forced and none on their own, now plus 11 on that margin. That's a number that more often than not you can turn to as far as who wins games more often than not.
Yeah, the turnovers are always a key to the game, and to create 3 in one half is really explosive. Doing it in a variety of ways, too. The fumble forced by Charles Correa. Jackson Woodard now responsible for 2 turnovers in this ballgame. Had the INT as well as the recovery there. And Jed Elad, one time getting the interception, the other time applying the pressure that led to a 3rd down stop. So a great job by the defense in spots. They gave up some leakage and gave up some yards, but we knew that this Aggie offense was capable of ripping off chunks of yards. And once things settled in, honestly, the objective is to keep them from scoring points, and so far the Rebels have done a good job of keeping the Aggies out of the end zone, only giving up 7 points on one of those possessions. So a good job by the Rebel defense so far. Look to lock in the second half and close this one out.
And we'll see what Barry Odom thinks on the other side. He caught up with Steve Cofield. That interview and more coming up on our halftime show presented by IBEW and NICA. 41-7. UNLV leads. They're in the locker room meeting right now. We'll hear from Barry Odom on the other side. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
It's not about the injury.
If you've been in a motorcycle accident, remember, it's not about the injury, it's about the recovery. Hi, this is Paul Pata from Paul Pata Law. You know, motorcycle accidents can be complex, and that's when you need an attorney that understands the unique challenges of a motorcycle accident case. At Paul Pata Law, we'll guide you through the journey of recovering physically, emotionally, and financially. Check us out at paulpatalaw.com or call us at 702-707-3000.
Hey, Port of Subs fans, ready for a deal that's big on taste but light on your wallet? Make it a combo for just $2. Just $2 more, you can upgrade with chips and a drink. Get more meal for your money and make your lunch a combo. Head to Port of Subs and add chips and a drink for just $2. Offer available for a limited time only. Visit portofsubs.com or order on our app.
Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
41-7, UNLV leads Utah State at the halftime break. Our halftime show presented by IBEW and NICA. Steve Cofield was able to catch up with the head coach Barry Odom to get his thoughts on a dominant first half for the Rebels.
All right, halftime here with Barry Odom, brought to you by Ted Ween's Complete Auto Service. So first of all, let's talk about defense. The swarming, the open field tackling, the turnovers, great performance.
Yeah, there's a couple things we've got to tighten up in our zone concepts. We're not rushing really. This is by design. But in our zone concept, I mean, Shear built this in 4 days, and our team has executed at a really high level, but we're a little loose on matching up routes, so we got to get that fixed. We know that we'll kick off, defense up second half. We need to get a stop and then go put some more points on the board.
So on offense, things look pretty efficient. Haj Malik getting the ball downfield maybe more than the first 2 games. He's comfortable. And then Ricky White with just some great catches.
Ricky's one of the best in the country. Haj is doing a great job delivering the ball. We gave up 2 sacks there that we're better than that. But I think it's going to take points. I don't feel comfortable with any lead in this game.
That's the second half. What do you tell them? Because you kept the homecoming crowd pretty quiet. It's also getting kind of emotional out there, not to get sucked into nonsense.
Just go play one play at a time. Play our ball. I don't think we've had any of those penalties. We've got to continue to keep our middle poise about ourselves. If we do that, we'll be okay.
All right, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you. There is Barry Odom at the half. We'll send it back up to Matt and Caleb.
And that one just par for the course from Barry Odom. You had mentioned ever the perfectionist. I think that's how you get into coaching. There is no coach in the country that's going to go into the locker room up 41-7 at half and say, yep, that's it, we're going to mail it in. But Barry Odom, he said he wanted to put the foot on the gas even more.
Yeah, points are the priority, and this Aggie team can score quickly. You see how the tempo that they run at an efficient pace, at an efficient clip as an offense. So they have the potential to put up points in bunches. And obviously, as a coach, you want to perfect the things that you didn't perfect in the first half. And I think that, again, leads to that mentality at the halftime, wanting to come out in the second half and put on more. So you look at what they did. And he mentioned dropping in the zone coverage. If you're going to have a zone concept and have so much space on the outside, you have to do a better job of attaching to the routes that are in your zone. There's so much space that if you just drop to a zone, to a spot, the receivers and this quarterback are going to find the open windows and take advantage of. You saw that a couple times with Charles Correa on the underneath coverage, and and also with Jed Elad. One of the deep shots got behind him as he's trying to drop underneath the seam route. So they're doing a great job. The Aggies have taken advantage of the space that they're intentionally giving them on a defensive side. But you mentioned those things like getting to your zone spots and feeling the routes and coming up and making tackles in space when it's your turn. UNLV has some cleaning up to do, even though the scoreboard would say that they played an almost perfect first half. 41-7 in Barry Odom's estimation is not enough, and he wants to increase this lead to feel more comfortable about it. Not looking to see them take the air out of the ball like they did in the first half over at Houston in the opener. But this team is off and running. 30 more minutes of football should be a good one.
41-7, UNLV leads over Utah State, just dominant in the first half. 3 turnovers, 14 points off of those 3 turnovers. And Haj Malik Williams, Ricky White, and the rest of this Rebel offense doing the rest after the defense is really doing a great job of ball hawking and punching the ball out from all 3 levels. Take a break, come on back on the other side. It's the halftime show presented by IBEW and Nika. We'll take a look at some halftime stats and out-of-town scores right after this. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
If your day sounds like
We need the report ASAP.
you deserve Modelo, if you've persevered through, you deserve this rich golden lager with a crisp but refreshing taste. Or if you overcame, you deserve this ice-cold reward. Modelo, remarkable fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Port Chicago, Illinois.
This is Todd Frayton's heart. He's begun his wellness journey. This is its sound on a treadmill, at a slight incline, on a stroll through the forest. And this is the heart of Maria Sanchez, his wellness coach. What's it doing here? A lot, actually. Because when we partner with you, we don't just offer a strategic plan and status updates. We put our hearts into it. Beat for beat. Intermountain Health. The power of we.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
You've heard the saying, girls just want to have fun. Well, so do guys. If there's one thing people really hate, it's being bored. So as they say, go south, people. To the South Point. Still providing free parking. You'll love the action. First run movies in the cinema and dining is so delicious your tummy won't believe it. 11 restaurants plus live shows, headline shows, bowling, incredible pool area. Just for relaxing. After all that action, your entertainment destination is South, my friends, the South Point. Drop by this week and have some fun.
Hey Rebel fans, the 2024 football season is here and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UNLV football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the UNLV Rebels. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
When it comes to your home comfort, there's no question you deserve excellent service. Just say yes to home service tune-ups by relying on the pros at Yes Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Call the Yes Man today at 702-888-4937 and get $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. Visit theyesmancan.com for details, terms, and conditions. Yes, official partner of UNLV Athletics. License number 71246, 71233, 87262, EAS 007 4696.
Both teams taking the field, getting loose as we get set to start the second half. Along with Caleb Herring and Steve Cofield, I'm Matt Everett. Griffin Kemp, our producer, back in our Lotus broadcast studios. It's been a fun one, Caleb. 41-7 UNLV. Any game where you're up 41-7 is a fun one, but this one in particular, with the Rebels dominant in the rushing game, 166 yards on the ground to just 88 for Utah State. They're out passing them 201 to 170. UNLV with nearly 400 yards of total offense in the first half. Coming into this game, averaging 44.5 points a game. They've got 41.5, number one, as they look to continue the dominance in the second half. But Before we get the second half started, not a huge slate of games going on around the rest of the country here on a Friday night, but let's take a look at our out-of-town scores.
Yeah, the out-of-town scores are presented by the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Of course, our game here, UNLV handling business on the road against the Aggies, up 41-7 at the half. But Northwestern and Maryland have started the fourth quarter. Northwestern still enjoys a 14-point lead on the road, up 24-10 in that one. The other game on the nighttime slate here, as the sun has set fully in Logan, Utah. Number 16, Utah, taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils. They're up 6-0 here with the ball early in the first quarter. So it looks like they may have had a couple of possessions that led to field goals, and these teams are now currently in the Big 12. It's strange to say that about Arizona State still. Still got to get used to the ring of things. Utah obviously picked to win the Big 12, and Arizona State was picked to finish last. They've surprised a lot of people with the way they've started this season. So that game over on ESPN here on the Friday night slate. So some action on this Friday night. Obviously some action on Saturday. Some big-time games across all the conferences. Some top 5 matchups in Oregon and Ohio State over at Autzen Stadium. Something to keep an eye out on your Saturday morning slate. It's going to be a fun day of football, fun weekend of football, obviously rolling into the NFL. A couple of consecutive days of football. I think it was 26 consecutive days starting last Thursday of football of some sort. So we've been the beneficiaries of the entertainment so far. And so far it's been entertaining here. Those are the out-of-town scores presented by Southern Nevada Water Authority. We've got a half of football left to play. 2 more minutes and some change left in the halftime break. Both teams are out on the field now, though, warming up. The homecoming crowd is getting their snacks and getting settled in for another half of football. So far for the Aggies, it's been a tough one to watch, but we'll see what the second half has in store.
And on the other side for UNLV, this is exactly what you want to do. Obviously, in every game, you'd like to be up 41-7, but it's even more important to come out and put the foot on the gas early in a road game, in a homecoming atmosphere, and an opponent that you don't really play against that often. This is only the first matchup since 2022 for UNLV. It's their 5th ever homecoming game here in Logan. What are your memories from the game or two that you had played here in your time as a Rebel?
Yeah, well, it was interesting. I think there's pretty lopsided affairs. We were in a down year, I guess, when the last time I came up here to Utah State. But it's a fun environment. And when they're having success as a program, even now, they're having a rough go of it at 1-4. But this is a pretty good turnout for a homecoming crowd. And obviously the matchups between these two teams will be even more few and far between, as Utah State has agreed to enter into the Pac-7 at this point. So we will likely not be making the trek up to Logan, Utah in the near future. But it's always a good place to play. And sometimes you like to see other teams have success. You would like to keep Utah State in the fold. Obviously, with the Mountain West, it's fitting for this team to be a Mountain West team with the backdrop of mountains that is in the background when the sun is up. It's a beautiful setting here in Logan. It's been a beautiful night. The wind has picked up here, but it's been a beautiful night for football. And obviously, the Mountain West will miss the Aggies, but they're moving on and moving up in their estimation. They got to do what's right for them. But no more Logan on the docket for UNLV, at least as far as a conference opponent. Maybe starting earlier than 2026. But good farewell package being delivered here by UNLV on the way out. I don't know if it's too early to say this is a win over a Pac-12 team, but maybe some people will consider it that. But 41-7 is a comfortable spot. Coach Odom obviously not comfortable with any lead. He's going to look to try to add to it, starting with a defensive stop to start the second half. So we'll see what they have in store. Obviously, you want to maintain the standard of winning habits out there, and maybe if you keep handling business, get an opportunity to get some of your reserves here into the ballgame for the first time on the road.
Don't forget, the final play of the first half was that fake field goal that ended with a personal foul called on the Utah State sideline. So Caden Chittenden getting set to line up for the opening kickoff of the second half, literally from midfield. The center of the U in Utah State's logo at midfield is where he lines it up on the near side hash. He's got no problem putting it into the end zone from the normal lineup on the 35-yard line. May see something interesting with the Rebels going against the wind blowing right in the face of Chittenden here.
I'd be willing to bet he's going to pooch this one up and try to entice a return and really start the Aggies with negative field position here. Just put some air under this, make it land inside the field of play, and then get down there and cover. So we'll see. I know James Shebes and Coach Odom have had discussions about what they want to do with this opening kickoff of the second half, and I'd like to see them take advantage of the penalty. If you put a touchback out, it basically wipes the penalty yards off the board. So we'll see. The Rebels were able to do a similar situation last week against Syracuse when a penalty forced a strange kickoff, and they were able to make it to their benefit on the coverage team. So I'd like to see Chittenden maybe punt this one down to the 10-yard line, let it bounce in play, and force an attempted return.
He gets the okay to kick. The whistle's blown, and Chittenden hits a squib kick. Bounces at the 25 before being picked up. Swarmed by a trio of Rebel defenders, and there's a big pile moving at the 28-yard line. That one just did not get the bounce that they wanted, but there is a flag down at the 50-yard line that typically is in the area of a false start.
And offside's likely on the coverage team, so squib didn't go the way they wanted, and then they got the penalty on top of it. So the Aggies will actually seemingly benefit here and get 5 yards of field position on top of the squib kick that was maybe not quite according to plan.
Offsides, number 23 of the kicking team. 5 yards to be added to the end of the kick. First down.
So instead of the ball at the 26-yard line, it'll be on the other side of the 30. Sometimes with that squib kick, you're at the mercy of the ball. I mean, that thing just kind of kept rolling, never really took that big kangaroo hop, and stayed down near the turf. So the ball's going to be spotted at the 34-yard line. First and 10 for Utah State as they go left to right, trailing 41-7. Spencer Petras drops back to pass, finds a slant over the middle. It's the tight end, Brock Lane. He spins off a tackler into midfield. Down to the 49-yard line is the 6'4 senior out of Chandler, Arizona.
Petras has really impressed me with his ability to get through progressions. He's going from one side of the field to the other there, finds the backside slant, and makes a completion for a first down.
Two receivers to the top of the formation. The give is up the middle to Faison. He tries to go off tackle left, but is pushed back to the middle. Nowhere to go as Jet Elad combines with Charles Correa on the stop. Faison's helmet comes off, so he's got to go to the sideline for one play at least.
It's a great job by Jackson Woodard as a linebacker, scraping over the top of that play. Doesn't make the tackle, but he forces the action back inside, and that's what you want to do as the guy setting the edge on any defensive scheme. Beat the runner to the edge, force him back into the help, and the help, the cavalry, came to finish off Faison.
Faison picked up a yard. The helmet flew off, so Herschel Turner Jr. checks into the game at running back. Petras fires it to the outside. It's caught by Tia on the near sideline. Tia wrestled down by a trio of Rebel defenders. It was Jackson Woodard holding on to the waist. Jarvis Ware coming in as well, and eventually bringing him down. Brings up a Raising Cane's 3rd down and 3 for Utah State.
And a real late whistle there by the officials. Forward progress stopped, and they really let that go. Those are the situations where you get caught with late hits if people start to get to that pile late, but fortunately the Rebels held off, and now it's a Raising Cane's 3rd down.
Ball spotted on the UNLV 44-yard line. A tight end and 2 receivers to the left. Petras hands it off to the left side. Turner goes off left tackle, gets down to the 41 rather, spins away from a tackle, picks up the first down and more, able to get it with the second effort down to the 36-yard line before Jackson Woodard stymied the run.
Here, another missed tackle at the line to gain. It looked like Jonathan Baldwin was the first Rebel with a chance. He took a punishment there, absolutely trucked in the hole, and the second effort by the backup running back gets the Aggies the first down. They're on the march into Aggie territory.
They say low man wins. Turner at 5'9", 1 and then some there. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Turner in motion out of the backfield to the right. Petras looking left. He'll roll to the right as he's flushed out of the pocket. Man coming in his face as Petras fires it to the near sideline. He was out of the tackle box. That one got to the line of scrimmage out of bounds, and an incompletion sets up 2nd and 10.
2nd down.
It was Jackson Woodard all in the face of Spencer Petras. He had nowhere to throw to.
It's a great job in zone coverage there. This time attaching to the slant route. Same progression for Petras, trying to work through the front side, back to the backside. Correa does a great job getting underneath that slant, identifying the route, taking it away, and forcing the late scramble and throwaway by Petras.
2nd and 10 with 12:48 to play in the 3rd quarter. 41-7, UNLV on top. Petras on the slant route, finds the tight end Lane, able to get it across the 30, down to the 27-yard line. Jonathan Baldwin able to make a successful tackle there, and it brings up another Raising Cane's 3rd and 3. Utah State back to the line, trips formation to the right. The handoff up the middle to Turner. Turner tackled at the 24. It's going to depend on the spot, and they'll give it to him. Just able to get it across the line was Rashul Faison, beg your pardon. He came back in before Jonathan Baldwin made the tackle. Utah State already at the line again. Rebels with just 3 down linemen. They drop 8. Petras looking for a pass. Pump fakes, fires end zone. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Jack Hestera on his 3rd score of the year. And Utah State finds pay dirt on their first offensive drive of the second half.
Again, the tempo of the Aggies is problematic for the Rebel defense. They had their fair share of 3rd downs on that series to get off the field, but going fast, not allowing substitutions, and the secondary just not on the same page. 2 vertical routes, essentially occupying 1 defender. Jet Elad all by himself, and he's looking at Cam Oliver to fall off for the help. And Cam saying, I got a guy in the flat that I'm worried about, but put the defense in a dilemma. And Petrus able to orchestrate a drive to start the second half that results in Aggie points.
The extra point up and good from Tanner Cragen. And it's now a 41-14 UNLV lead with 12:09 to go in the third quarter, as Utah State finds probably their best offensive drive of the game coming out of the locker room. Funny how that works when you're able to take some time and draw up a series. We'll step aside. The Rebels get the ball on the other side of the break. It's 41-14 UNLV. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Listen to Sunday Night Football live only on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas.
It's a blitz. The quarterback scrambles, looking for an open receiver. Nope, sacked. That's how you stop a big play. Now, imagine your business as the quarterback. You need a strong team to support you. Les Olson IT is your offensive line, protecting your business and helping you score big. We're talking touchdowns for your bottom line. Visit lesolsonit.com for a free technology assessment. Let's make some big plays together.
Les Olson IT.
Your morning shave with Barbasol is a time for self-reflection. Look in that mirror and ask yourself, can I make a real difference in this world? Of course you can. Just not today. There's football on. Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Rebel football is presented by the Southern Nevada Water Authority, reminding you that fall watering restrictions are in effect through October 31st. It's crucial to play by the rules, so change your watering clock now. Water grass only 3 days a week, but for plants and trees, run your drip system 2 days a week. Find more winning water-saving strategies at snwa.com, also by Star Nursery. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing. 12:09 to go in quarter number 3. Utah State able to lead a long, sustained drive coming out of the halftime break, punching it in to make it 41-14 UNLV. Rebels still with the big lead as they look to respond to start out their offense in the second half. Rebels in the first half, 166 yards on the ground, 201 through the air. They look to add to it here. Defense is going to look to make some adjustments as well.
Yeah, definitely. Again, be on the lookout for special teams tricks here in this second half. With the way they started with a great offensive possession, the Aggies are probably going to be a little bit more aggressive, not just in the special teams, but in their defensive play calling. So the Rebels have to be ready to respond. You would like to get the ground game established again early here in the second half, but I think the tone has been set by the Aggies. They are not by any means waving the white flag in the second half.
Elliot Nimrod putting the ball on the tee as we speak. The wind blew it off a couple different times, and it just hit it again. The wind really howling from north to south here to start off the second half as Nimrod resets the ball on the tee and jogs back. It's set as Jacob DeJesus lines up with his heels on the goal line. Nimrod kicking with the wind. UNLV on top, 41-14. He kicks to a high, short kick to the far sideline. As that one's grabbed by Kylan James. He cuts it back to the near side. He's got some space at the 30. Across the 35, tries to beat a man, but is pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Rebels already have a touchdown return on a kickoff from the running back, Jet Thomas, in that Utah Tech game, finding pay dirt from 89 out. Good return there from James. Sets up UNLV in favorable field position.
And the Aggies trying to go with a little bit of a pooch kick there, and their kickoff coverage team ends up on the short end of that one. So both coverage teams end up sacrificing some quality field position, and the Rebels will have the ball now at the 39-yard line to start this offensive possession.
Malik Williams back out there for the first time in quite a while in real time. He's 10 out of 15 for 201 and 3 touchdowns so far. Also running the ball well. He'll give it off on the first play of the half to Jet Thomas off the left guard. He gets across the 45, across the 50, into Utah State territory before a pair of tacklers bring him down. Jordan Vincent and DJ Graham eventually stop the Jet Thomas run.
Jalen St. John and Anton Ambule on that left side have done a great job on the outside zone of creating a lane for Jet to run through. And really any running back off the left side, but a great job by Big Chop on the left side, clearing the way. First down yards on the first play of the second half.
Long run for Jet Thomas sets him up in Utah State territory. Everybody bunched up to the left side of the formation as Malik Williams takes the snap, gives it to Jesus on the jet sweep to the right. He tries to make a man miss. He cuts it to the inside, the 45, the 40. He's down to the 35-yard line before Ike Larson gets a piece of him. Jacob DeJesus put a foot in the ground and just juked out Avante Dickerson at the line of scrimmage.
They call that a one cut, and guys who master it at full speed, like Jacob DeJesus just demonstrated there, are dangerous in open field. You call that play, you leave one guy unblocked and rely on DeJesus to make a miss, and he does it with flying colors.
Trips to the left, including the tight end Kaleo Ballanguy, as Jet Thomas takes the handoff off the right guard, cuts it back up the middle before being wrestled to the turf by Jordan Vincent after a gain of 7 yards. Ball spotted all the way down to the Utah State 29-yard line.
It's a great run again on the outside zone, this time following behind Tiger Shanks off the right side. Again, Jet hitting the hole with pace, burst through for a nice gain on first down.
10:38 and counting. Second down and 3 for UNLV, going from right to left. The give is to Thomas, off left tackle on the counter. He cuts it back to the inside, the 20, the 15, one man to beat at the 5. Thomas to the pylon, touchdown! UNLV hits the jackpot. It's 47-14 with 10:27 to go in the third.
Fantastic run by Jaden Thomas. Again, inside track, lets the defense collapse and then uses the Jets to turn that corner around the outside. One man to beat, and he did it. Scoots into the end zone for his first touchdown of the night. Great job of responding by the UNLV offense.
A 29-yard touchdown run, the third of the year for Jet Thomas. Brings out Caden Chittenden as he kicks this one up. He kicks it through, and no good. Missing it wide right. Spoke too soon. Chittenden has been automatic, but he missed that one. Pushed it to the right. His first missed extra point as a Rebel.
And the wind is swirling down there in Aggie Stadium. You see the flags on top of the posts going all kinds of directions, and he's kicking right into it. So going to have to account for that late in this ballgame if you're Chittenden. The wind has definitely changed, and it's still howling down there. So got to get a beat on that, even on the short stuff. It can pick up and be a definite impact here in Logan, Utah.
If it were a different game situation, it'd be a different story. But for now, the lead 47-14 with 10:27 in the third. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Serving communities, citizens, and workers in Las Vegas since 1931. Las Vegas Power Professionals, IBEW Local 357, and Southern Nevada NECO have provided tens of thousands of electrical industry careers for Southern Nevada families. To find out more about the union electrical construction industry, visit lvpowerpro.org. That's lvpowerpro.org.
Parkway Tavern is the official home of the Rebels on the road. With 7 neighborhood taverns, there's no better place to win with the Rebels. Enjoy $5 Miller Lite and Coors Light drafts and $6 Crown Royal, Kettle One, and Fireball during every game, all season long. Plus, download the Parkway app for a free souvenir pint glass and free domestic draft at any of their 7 Valley locations. Parkway Tavern is a proud partner of your UNLV Rebels. Visit pkwitavern.com or follow them on social media at Parkway Tavern. That's PKWY Tavern. Go Rebels!
Rebel football is presented by Shook and Stone. Injured in a car accident or at work? Call Shook and Stone, Nevada's premier injury and disability law firm. With over 25 years of experience, they've recovered over $1 billion for clients. Call 702-GET-MORE for a free consultation today. Shook and Stone, official partner of UNLV Athletics. 10:27 to play in the third quarter, 47-14 the lead for UNLV. Jet Thomas from 29 yards out on his first touchdown run of the day. His third of the year extends the lead to 47-14, and the wind continues to wreak havoc in the kicking game. Caden Chittenden missing the extra point.
Yeah, it was a completely dead night, a beautiful night for football in the first half, and seemingly the football god said, we're going to make it tough for you in the second half. The wind has not stopped blowing. It's swirling down there on the field. The wind gets trapped down in the bowl and all kinds of directions on the flags. And as a kicker, you got to be aware of that. Right now, Caden is going to be kicking into the wind yet again. So we'll see. And it looks like they've actually made a change here. It looks like Mayono is going to be kicking this one off.
So Andre Mayono getting his opportunity. as he kicks this one to the short end of the corner. Royals calls for the fair catch, makes the grab at the goal line as that one was going to stay in bounds. Certainly hooking towards the near sideline as the wind continues to wreak havoc. And Andre Miyoto with the touchback gives Utah State the ball at their own 25-yard line. What's going to be a big adjustment here for this UNLV defense after Utah State looked so efficient their last time out?
Well, I think just getting off the field on third down. It's really hard to make adjustments against a team that's going so up-tempo. Obviously, the first set of downs is the most important. Getting off the field on third down, though, is going to be the key here, and making tackles in open space.
5 wide for Spencer Petras as he drops back, looks to the right, now to the left, fires it to the far sideline. It's complete to Royals on the slant, and coming in to make this stop, a crushing blow from Jet Elad, coming in from his strong safety position. It is good enough for the first down as the ball's going to be spotted on the UNLV 36-yard line.
And here, there's Petras again, working from front side all the way to the backside receiver there on that concept. UNLV unable to get pressure to disrupt the progression.
Ball in Utah State territory is Faison, the running back, in motion to the near sideline. Petras to throw. It's intended for Hystera, knocked incomplete by Cam Oliver. A little bit of a timing play there, but Cam Oliver did a great job of knocking it away and making the hit on Hystera at the same time.
And that's about as close as you can get with your timing there at meeting the ball at the receiver. Aggies making the argument that it was a little bit early, but that's a bang-bang play, and honestly, the officials do a good job keeping the flags tucked there. But you can understand how that could go the other way against Cam Oliver.
2nd and 10 with 9:57 to play in the quarter. The handoff is up the middle to Faison. Tries to get into the second level, but Jackson Woodard grabbed a shoelace and tripped him up after a gain of 3. We're getting word from the sideline from Steve Cofield that Caden Chittenden limped off after that extra point and was getting his right calf work done. That's also why Andre Miona was out there for that ensuing kickoff. 3rd down and 5. Petras to throw. It's complete at the 45-yard line of UNLV to Jack Hystera. He's all the way down to the Rebel 37-yard line before Malik Chavis wraps him up and brings him down. Another first down for the Aggies.
The Aggies, again, taking advantage of the wide splits and the space in the zone. Petras has been on the money on that deep post route to the wide side of the field. They connect again for a first down, and again, they're on the plus side of the 50 as they make wholesale changes on the defensive front for the Rebels.
UNLV brings in 3 new defensive linemen. K-Mac, Conley, Martinson, the only 3 linemen, as Rebels drop 8 in coverage. Petras to throw, looking over the middle. It's complete to the tight end, Monty at the 30. He's across the 25, down to the 22-yard line. That's another quick hitter from Spencer Petras in the passing game for another first down.
Again, they're making the adjustment. Jackson Woodard is vacating to the trip side on that swing route, and we'll get the next play here as they're going fast.
And 2 receivers on each side as the give is up the middle. It's Turner, backup tailback in the game. Jackson Woodard holds him up, and a score of Rebel defenders come in to finish him off on the tabletop. They give him a yard.
And again, what Petras is doing when they go to the trip side and run the slant bubble concept, Woodard is overreacting and vacating the middle of the field, leaving the backside slant wide open.
2 receivers stacked up to each side of the formation. Petras on play action, fires to the far sideline. It's complete to Monty at the 12-yard line. He's tackled after a first down gain. Cameron Oliver, one-on-one in coverage, but couldn't get there in time to knock the incompletion away. Utah State really pushing the tempo. They've got their foot on the gas. They're already lined up with the next play called. 8 minutes and counting to go in the third. A handoff up the middle, as Turner's got nowhere to go off the right side. He's tackled in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards. Antonio Doyle Jr., the first one to contact him. A couple of other defenders came in to help out.
Looked like Fisher K-Mac was in there on the action as well. The big 6'7" pass rusher. That time stout against the run. Cam Oliver coming in from his cornerback position as well, getting in on the action. Negative play generated. First against the Aggies on this drive. First of the half, really, for the Rebels, creating a negative play defensively.
Aggies slowing things up a bit, looking to the sideline for a new play. They've got a 2nd down and 13 with the ball on the UNLV 14. Moving things around as the sideline will pull Brock Lane in motion from near to far. And a timeout called by Nate Dreiling. They just could not get that play signaled in. Takes a timeout with 7:19 to go as we keep it here. 47-14, the UNLV lead.
And the issue that the Aggies face in the red zone, why it's so difficult, is so much of their offense is predicated on taking advantage of space. Space is naturally taken away when you're operating in the red zone. The windows naturally shrink, so it's a lot harder to find the windows down near the red zone. But it's been a commanding couple of drives for the Aggies, and one of the adjustments that they've made is really putting Jackson Woodard in a bind. They're motioning out a running back to create an empty formation and trips to one side. Jackson Woodard has been overreacting and getting underneath the motion on that side, which is the front side of the play. Petras has done a great job of reading where Woodard goes, then coming back and putting Charles Correa in a bind against a tight end on the slant. taking advantage of that. It's a really simple concept that's tough to read and tough to diagnose as a quarterback, but once you get the hang of it, it's a really good play to put defenses in a bind, especially defenses that are playing it the way that UNLV is. We're using their middle linebacker, Jackson Woodard, to fly out to that motion swing.
Utah State comes out of the timeout on 2nd and 13 from the Rebel 14-yard line. UNLV on top 47-14. Man in motion to the far sideline on the wheel route. Petras takes the snap, steps up in the pocket. Nowhere to go as he spins around the defender. Now rolls to the right near the 20-yard line. Fires end zone. That's complete. That's a touchdown. What a pitch and catch to Jalen Royals. His 5th touchdown of the year comes on a dart from Spencer Petras.
Again, the Rebels had an opportunity at a sack, and Petras is able to escape. And not known for his athleticism, but there makes a defender miss. Finds an open receiver on the second effort there. And it looks like Petras is going to have his 2nd passing touchdown of the second half. A really dominant third quarter here for the Aggies, and they've got life here in Maverick Stadium.
It was Antonio Doyle that nearly brought him down in the backfield, but just quite couldn't get the fingertips on him. The kicker, Tanner Cragen, puts it up. He puts it through, kicking it with the wind, and all of a sudden, it's 47-21. Utah State leading back-to-back touchdown drives. And with 7:10 to go in the third quarter, a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. See your Southern Nevada Chevy dealers.
Hey guys, if you're getting less sleep, have less energy, and lower self-esteem, you're not alone. You might have low testosterone. The good news is, you can find out for free. Right now, Game Day Men's Health Las Vegas is giving a free testosterone test and consultation. That's a $200 value. If you do have low T, the Game Day medical professionals offer treatment that's easy and affordable. Call or text 725-777-2166 and take advantage of this free test through October 12th. Or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
UNLV football is presented by Parkway Tavern, official partner of UNLV Athletics and your official home of Rebels on the road. With over 250 beers, 24/7 gaming, and 7 Valley locations, there's no better place to catch the game than Parkway Tavern. Also by our friends at EOS Fitness. Get off the sidelines and into EOS, a proud partner of UNLV. Featuring premium amenities, including their turf functional training area and much more. Join for as low as $9.99 per month at joineos.com. EOS Fitness, better gym, better price. Back-to-back touchdown drives from Spencer Petras in this Utah State offense has trimmed the UNLV lead to 47-21. There's 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Barry Odom, before the game, Caleb, had said, we're going to need to go point for point with these guys in the second half. That's ringing true.
Yeah, second half, obviously, the Aggies showing how explosive they can be as an offense and how fast they can strike here. And just halfway through the third quarter, they put up 14 points on a Rebel defense that is really reeling and trying to find answers to what they're doing in this scheme, this spread offense scheme. So great job by the Aggies coming in with new life in the third quarter. The Rebels responded offensively on their first drive of the third. We'll see if they can do the same here. This turns into a back-and-forth affair. Obviously, UNLV continues to score points. They'll come away with a win, but want to tighten things up on the defensive side, especially due to the fact that we've got a couple of injuries now for the Rebels. Steve Cofield on the sideline due to some technical difficulties, unable to pop on with us, but he lets us know that Caden Chittenden is getting worked on with an injury, as well as Manny Powell, who is likely done for the night. So the linebacker room getting a little thinner as Rebels are still trying to get Marcel McDuffie back. But the business at hand right now is that the Rebel offense needs to respond to what the Aggie defense has done with their second score of the third quarter. And again, the wind howling down there on Maverick Stadium's field is knocked the ball off the tee, and they'll have to reset and get this kickoff going.
So it's Elliot Nimrod resetting the ball on the tee. It's going to stay up there this time as he kicks it in the air. It's a low-line drive to the near sideline. Jacob DeJesus watches it bounce at the 1. It pops out of bounds. Wow, a risky play by Jacob DeJesus as the first bounce went inbounds. Actually kicked more towards the middle of the field. He let it bounce again. That second bounce, as risky as it gets, and it went out of bounds.
Kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
You know, Caleb, they say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. In this case, we know Jacob DeJesus is both.
Yeah, that was definitely an example of both. He realized he had enough space to let that ball bounce and make sure it made the play, and positioned himself that just in case he was able to get on it if he needed to. That's a live ball, but Rebels get great starting field position up at the 35-yard line.
Leo Ballanguy and Christian Moore are both in the game and both off the right hip of Tiger Shanks on the right side. Kylan James in the backfield. They give us to Jalen Bradley on the end around. Bradley across the 30, dukes a man out to the outside, gets to the 35, dives towards the 40-yard line. They're going to spot him at the UNLV 41 before Chase Davis brought him down to the turf. First time we've called Jaden Bradley's name today.
Great job getting him involved on the reverse there. Takes it for a positive gain on first down. Makes a man miss, shows his elusive capability in open space. Rebels will have 2nd and 4 here for this snap.
Ricky White and Casey Kane, the two receivers to the left, both tight ends to the right side of the formation. In the backfield once more off the left tip of Hajj Malik Williams is Kylan James. He gets the handoff outside zone right. Contacted behind the line of scrimmage and wrestled down for a loss of 3. Nowhere to go for Kylan James as it brings up a Raising Cane's 3rd down.
Not sure what he was doing there. Stopped his feet in the backfield off that right tackle and essentially waited for the defense to react. It looked like he had some space on the inside of the Kaleo Ballanguy block, but opted to try to get the corner late and ends up with a negative play for the Rebels here on this drive.
Here's a 3rd down and 6 to go. Ball on the 39-yard line. Both tight ends to the left, both receivers, White and Kane, to the right. Hajj Malik Williams takes the snap, dropping back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, steps up, he's going to run it himself, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, is able to pick up 3 before he takes a big hit, brings up a 4th down and short. Critical tackle there by Omeri Okeke, and here comes the punt unit onto the field for UNLV.
And that's what UNLV really doesn't want to do, is get into straight drop back situations. Hajj Malik is a really efficient passer, but that aspect of the passing game has not been pinpoint, especially on 3rd downs, and they'll be forced to punt it away.
On 4th and 3, here's Marshall Nichols with a heavy blitz. He's able to get the kickoff, and back to call for the fair catch and make the fair catch is
timeout on the field.
Kuhanu Davis. That one's going to be at the 19-yard line. That's where Utah State takes over on the other side. 5:21 to go in the quarter number 3. Rebels hoping to stop this Utah State offense that has scored on both of their previous drives in the second half. 47-21, the UNLV lead. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
What's better than a credit card with a low interest rate? How about one with no interest? For a limited time, when you open a new America First Visa, you'll enjoy 0% APR purchases for the first 6 months. Yep, all that buying power and not a single cent of interest for 6 months. That means no interest on summer fun, no interest on back-to-school gear, and no interest on holiday shopping. Interested? Then hurry to AmericaFirst.com to apply for yours today. Introductory variable annual percentage rate. Membership eligibility terms, creditworthiness, and conditions apply. See AmericaFirst.com/Visa for details. Federally insured by NCAA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
I love watching my child grow through football, learning values and life skills that extend beyond the playing field. Now, there are more ways to play than ever before, from flag to tackle and beyond, with opportunities for boys and girls at any age. To find the right team, explore FutureForFootball.com's new League Locator tool and explore nearby leagues. It's never been easier to get your family involved in the game.
Rebel football on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield is presented by Kohl's. When life gets real, start at Kohl's, where we've lowered prices on thousands of items your family needs for whatever life brings. Kohl's, where family comes first, and also by the Varsity Network app. Whether you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the new Varsity Network app. Available for both Apple and Android. This is listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app. Rebels on top 47-21, and as Utah State gets the ball for the 3rd time in the 3rd quarter, they're trying to score their 3rd straight touchdown. Rebels hoping to make some adjustments. They're going to be a little bit short, especially in the linebacking core, with Manny Powell, as you had mentioned, Caleb, out for the rest of the game. This is a linebacking group with the injury of Marcel McDuffie that was pretty short coming into this one as well.
Yeah, and he's been working his way back, expecting his return in the coming weeks, but Charles Correa will be forced into some extra action. He's already been getting plenty of reps as a true freshman in that linebacking room, following in the shadow of the captain, Jackson Woodard. The two actually look very similar out there on the field, but Charles Correa is in now with the ones, and he's worked his way up and really earned his minutes in the rotation. So fortunate there that the Rebels were able to create some depth for just such a situation. He's out there with the defense as they look to stop the Aggies for the first time in the second half.
After the punt from Marshall Nichols, Utah State takes over at their own 19-yard line. Spencer Petras moving things from left to right, sends the running back in motion to the near sideline. Takes the snap, looks over the middle of the field, steps up in the pocket, flushed out to the left. Dixon chasing him down as Petras sails one out of bounds. Just had to get rid of that and stop the clock. He had Jalen Dixon all up in his face and nowhere to go.
It's a good job on that play. Again, going with that motion to the bubble. Jackson Wood reacts to it. Charles Correa on the backside does a good job of getting underneath that slant route on the backside, taking away the progression of Petras, who's forced to throw it away.
5:14 to go in the third. Petras with trips to the right. One receiver, Jalen Royals, all alone to the left. He takes the handoff up the middle, throws to Royals on the slant, but it's incomplete. Able to get a hand in there was Jarvis Ware. Tremendous body positioning and a better finish for the former UCF Knight.
Great physicality on the slant route, really making it tough for Royals to cross face. Did a good job on the initial look of keeping that left hand from pulling on the backside of the receiver, because that's a flag every time, and looked like initially Ware was good in coverage on the pass breakup. Forces a 3rd and long here for the Aggie offense.
Rays and Canes 3rd and 10 as Petras drops back to pass. Looking to the far sideline, fires over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for the tight end, Brock Lane. Utah State wants a flag, but there is none. Jet Elad, physical in coverage, but in the eyes of the officials, legal.
And again, this is one of those bang-bang plays very similar to what Ware just did. Coming on that in-breaking route, a lot of times the defenders get that left hand on the back of the receiver and hook him, and I think Jet Elad may have gotten away with one. He was very close to drawing that flag. I don't think the contact was enough for any of the back judges to throw it. 3 and out for the Aggies, and it came at a perfect time for the Rebel defense.
So another punt for Stephen Kotzenle, his 4th punt of the game. As the Rebels line up, they're looking to block it. Kotzenle rolls to the right, kicks one in the air, an end-over-end kick that sends Jacob DeJesus back to his own 45. He calls for the fair catch. He's got it, and that's where the Rebels will take over, trying to expand on a 47-21 lead. And they've got good field position here with just 5 yards to get into enemy territory.
Really good field position. Best defensive possession of the half, forcing that punt. The wind obviously helped the punt try to flip the field position. Jacob DeJesus did a good job judging that ball. It's tough to do when the wind's swirling like that down on the field, just to get up and fair catch that one, preserving some field position for the Rebel offense, who have some really decent field position here up near midfield.
Rebels with just 61 yards of offense so far in this second half, 138 for the Utah State Aggies. Malik Williams on play action, fires it to the far side, intended for Ricky White on the screen, but it's knocked away by Ike Larson. Rebels fortunate that he's not still running for a pick 6. That thing was aired out there for a while.
Yeah, that was a tough decision there, trying to take advantage of the numbers, and it looked like the Aggies were hip to it. Ricky White lined up in the slot. Like they just want to hand this one off again. Anytime the RPO is a close call as a quarterback, you want to err on the side of caution, especially with a big lead here in the second half. Hand that one up the middle. Fortunate there that wasn't picked off to the house.
2nd and 10 from the Rebel 45-yard line. Malik Williams gives it up the middle to Jet Thomas on the RPO. He gets across the 50, down to the Utah State 48-yard line. A late pull by Malik Williams as the ball's in the gut of Jet Thomas. Clyde Washington eventually there to make the stop.
It looked like it was Malik trying to rip that out late, and fortunate Jet had a good hold on it, because that could have been a disaster for the Rebel offense. Jet's able to get some yards after the mesh point, but 3rd down here again for the Rebel offense.
UNLV 2 for 6 on 3rd down tonight. Malik Williams moves 3 bodies to the right side, including both tight ends. He takes the snap. He pulls it out of the belly and rolls to the right, tries to get around Larson. He's able to juke the defender out and get the first down and then some. Across the 45, down to the 40 before running out of bounds. Malik Williams, one-on-one with one of the best tacklers in the Mountain West. He said, I'll take that, and a first down for the Rebels.
Really risky play there on the read option. Brennan Marion obviously sees that there's some potential for the keep on that read option. And Malik just trusting his wheels there, getting around the edge. Athleticism from the true dual threat quarterback from Campbell.
Malik Williams now with 8 carries for 30 yards in the game. 3:50 and counting in the third. 47-21, the UNLV lead. The give is up the middle to Jet Thomas off the left guard. He takes a big hit after a gain of 7. It was DJ Graham laying the boom on the Jet.
I really love the way Jaden's hitting the hole right now. He's running with some fire in his pants. Bursts him through that initial wave. He's getting positive yardage just about every time he touches the ball. Getting a lot of carries into the second half. We're seeing him healthy for the first time this season, getting some extended playing time here in the third quarter.
3 tight ends in the game. It's Ballanguy, Moore, and Jay Beasley in trips bunched up off the hip of right tackle Tiger Shanks. It's Ricky White by himself on the top of the formation. Thomas off the left hip of Williams. Takes the handoff up the middle. Spins to the outside, but he's wrapped up, nowhere to go, as John Ross May came in from his linebacker spot and brought down Jet Thomas for a loss of 2.
There looked like some confusion there getting that play lined up and set to go. Some penetration given up right up the middle by Jack Haas. The center had a man right over the top of him. Jet unable to get going. And just as I said, not really getting stopped for negative plays. He gets one for the first time here in the third quarter. Third down again for the Rebels.
It's the commentator's curse, right? Another 3 tight end set with all of them bunched up on the right side. Same formation as the previous play. Third down and 5 from the Utah State 34. Thomas takes it off the left tackle, spins around the defender across the 30-yard line. He's able to get the first down and then some. Jet Thomas on the second effort gets it on a second straight third down conversion for UNLV.
Great job on the hit and spin there by Jaden Thomas. Taking the contact, keeping his balance, and spinning out of it. That second effort got the change, got the yards to gain. Great job by the Jet there, keeping the drive alive.
First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Malik Williams gives it to Jet Thomas. He's got a couple of lead blockers off the right side across the 20 down to the 18-yard line. They'll give him a gain of 9.5. Brings up second down in inches with 1:56 to go in the third quarter, and there is an Aggie down on the field. It was J.D. Drew eventually making the tackle. And the Aggie down at the 25-yard line looks to be in some serious pain.
Yeah, it looks really serious the way he's laying there on the field. A lot of times when you're looking for concussion symptoms or serious head and neck injury symptoms, you look for the stiff limbs, and that's looked like the case there. As he was laying motionless on his back, and now they've got him rolled over just a little bit as the Aggies training staff is out attending to him. But Jaden Thomas on that play, able to follow his tight end as well as Tiger Shanks around the edge. He may have been a little bit impatient with the big fella Tiger Shanks as he was trying to lead the touchdown block, and Jet ducked inside of it before Tiger was able to get to his mark, but still a good gain off the right side on the outside zone.
Yeah, and that's one where you'd like to see a little more patience and let that play develop a little bit. We've seen a lot of different styles from this UNLV running back room. You've got Jet Thomas, who is really the do-all-everything back. You got Kylan James, who's the bowling ball, really the short yardage guy. Greg Burrell, really that patient. We've compared him to Le'Veon Bell, and even Devin Green, who we haven't seen tonight, but finding ways to get involved. When Michael Allen said he was going to enter the transfer portal due to not enough playing time, it opened up opportunities for Devin Green, and this UNLV rushing attack really has not skipped a beat.
Yeah, UNLV and Coach Odom touted the fact in fall camp that they had 6 running backs that they thought would contribute, and a lot of people may have not taken him serious in that assessment, but we've seen 6 different running backs throughout the course of the season make contributions at different points. And as we see the injured Aggie finally being helped up to a sitting position, it looked like it was the left knee that may have buckled as he took on the block on that outside zone run by Christian Moore. Christian Moore actually delivered a pretty solid block, and it looked like that plant foot of the linebacker was caught in the turf. And he's up now, very gingerly limping on that left leg, and hopefully he's okay. It doesn't look like he'll be able to return to this game just on the early indications. Don't want to speculate too much, but he's now being heavily assisted by the medical staff off to the Aggie sideline.
It's Clyde Washington, one of the starting middle linebackers who spent 4 seasons at Purdue and played in every game for the Boilermakers last year before transferring to Utah State for his final season of collegiate football. He is very gingerly walking to the sideline, yeah. You feel for the guy.
And Christian Moore, he lowered the boom. It was a great block, and sometimes the way you plant on that leg, especially when your cleat gets caught in the turf, gets a little twerked up a little bit, and that looks to be the case as he's very gingerly limping. Finally makes it off to the sideline, and the officials are ready to give the clear for play here for the Rebel offense.
Brings up a second down and 1. Ball spotted on the Utah State 29-yard line. 1:47 and counting to go. Handoff is up the middle. Kylan James fakes right, jukes to the left, and pushes it across the line to gain for a first down. Call it a gain of 1. That's all he needed. 47-21 the lead for UNLV, and they're inside the NV Energy red zone looking to add on to that advantage with a first down and 10 to go from the 18.
Yeah, and they're going short yardage situation. Everybody knows you're running it. Good job by the Rebels getting the yards necessary there. Kylan James picking his spot, following that offensive line to success.
Ballanguy one-on-one on the left side with J.D. Drew. Both Moore and Beasley both in the game. The snap goes behind Malik Williams. He picks it up and is tackled immediately by Kean Sloan. That's the third missed snap in 2 weeks from Jack Haws to Malik Williams.
And it didn't look like it was an inaccurate snap. Maybe off to the left, but one you got to handle if you're the quarterback. A little hot as well, but that's right in the hands of Malik Williams. And if there's anything that he's been inefficient at, it's been one of the simpler things. Catching that snap, making sure to look it all the way in. Got to have it. Rebels now backed way up behind the chains. Second and a mile here. Still in their own territory.
And from heavy to light, they bring in a bunch of receivers, including White and DeJesus on the right side of the formation. Casey Kane on the left. Instead, the handoff is up the middle to Jet Thomas. He cuts it inside the right guard and is brought down after a gain of maybe 2 yards. The Rebels on a 2nd down and 26. See Ike Larson blow that play up in the backfield. And it's now a 3rd and 22 with the ball on the Utah State 30-yard line. It's a decision here if you're Barry Odom. You want to try to get some yards, or you want to try to set Caden Chittenden up for a favorable kick.
And keep in mind, Caden Chittenden might be dealing with an injury. He may not be available. He's been money. Looks like he is on the sideline moving around from our vantage point. Don't know if he's going to be ready to go or even ready to attempt such a long field goal attempt. We'll see. UNLV not able to get the play called in, and it looks like they're going to call a timeout here.
They're going to wind it down to the end of the third.
They are going to let the third quarter wind out, and that's where it'll end here. 15 minutes to play. UNLV facing a tough situation on the other side.
47-21, UNLV on top. Barry Odom looking to go to 13-0 when leading after 3 quarters at the helm of this UNLV program. Everybody on both sidelines holding their 4 fingers in the air as we'll get the 4th quarter started right after this. It's UNLV 47, Utah State 14, here on the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Don't go it alone. Call Shook & Stone, Nevada's premier injury and disability law firm. With over 25 years of experience, we've helped over 20,000 Nevadans recover over $1 billion in compensation and benefits.
At Shook & Stone, we understand the challenges you face after an accident or injury. Medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. And insurance companies that put their interests before yours.
But you don't have to go it alone. Our team of experienced attorneys and staff is here to fight for the compensation and benefits you deserve.
Whether you've been injured in a car accident, workplace injury, construction accident, medical malpractice, or any other type of personal injury, Shook & Stone have the knowledge and resources to protect your rights.
For 3 decades, Shook & Stone has been here for you and your family. You're not alone. Call Shook & Stone at 702-GET-MORE for a free consultation. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
The official partner of UNLV Athletics.
Shook and Stone. Call 702-GET-MORE.
Quarter number 4 just about set to get underway. 47-21, UNLV on top. They've had a decision right off the bat here, Caleb. 3rd and 22 from the Utah State 30-yard line. If you're in the huddle, you're Brendan Marion, what kind of a play are you dialing up here on 3rd and long?
Well, they had some success with a screen earlier in this game, and that's one of the safer calls. Obviously, not going to be ultra aggressive as far as getting down, but now with the wind at your back, I think that may change your decision, or at least with the way the wind is primarily blowing. The wind will be at whoever's out to attempt a field goal's back. So I think you might see a conservative play call here, maybe just a run even, to try to get some sort of the yardage back. But again, Rebels' unforced mistakes leading to detrimental drive-killing errors. Missed snap by Malik Williams. He's had a couple of those in his early career as a Rebel. So got to get that sewed up because this drive was really moving effectively and looking like it was going to result in some points and create some separation. But now giving the Aggies some life on their defense, and a fortuitous situation to be in if you're defense. Not very many 3rd and 21s you're going to be lined up for, and not many calls offensively to get you 3rd and 21. So I think right now you may be playing for the preservation of the field goal. I could be wrong because Ricky White and Casey Kane have been able to have success on the deep ball, and who knows, with the wind at your back, maybe you think you're already in comfortable field goal position, so an incomplete pass down the field doesn't really hurt you. Maybe roll the dice and take a chance. We'll see as they break the huddle and come out onto the field what the Rebels decide to do.
And we're getting word from the sideline that Andre Miono is warming up right now, kicking the ball into the net. So likely, because of that evidence, Andre Miono would be the one to take the field goal if that were necessary here. 3rd down and 22. Rebels now going from left to right. As you had mentioned, Caleb, the wind now in a favorable position, blowing right at the backs pretty staunchly for UNLV. White and Kane to the right, left of the formation. Ballantyne to Jesus to the right. It's Jet Thomas in the backfield off the left tip of Malik Williams. They give it to him off the right tackle, and he goes nowhere. In fact, he loses yardage. Jaden Pearson comes in and blows that play up. They lose yardage, and it sets up a 4th and 24 from the 31-yard line. It'd be a 48-yard field goal, so the Rebels going to keep the offense on the field. They get to the line of scrimmage quickly. Same exact formation. Malik Williams drops back, steps up in the pocket. He tries to get around a pair of defenders, but he cannot. He is sacked for no gain by Bronson Olivau Jr. And the Rebels turn it over on downs.
I really don't understand that decision to go with a hurry up on 4th down, really, and not even give an attempt at a field goal. Going for it on 4th and a mile, obviously you're in a bad situation as far as punting it. That ball would likely go into the end zone. Going to be tough with the wind at your back to pin a team on such short notice, but maybe attempting a field goal there could have been a better option. A really strange situation going for it in a hurry up style on that 4th down.
Just the 3rd time this year in 9 tries the Rebels have not converted on 4th down. So now Spencer Petras leads the offense on the field, trailing 47-21. He drops back on the first play, no one to throw to, so he'll step up in the pocket himself, and they'll spot him down a yard in the backfield. It'll be Keith Conley Jr. credited with the sack.
And it's good discipline by the secondary. They're going with a fake screen, trying to get the wheel up the sideline. Cam Oliver and Malik Chavis do a great job of passing it off, taking away the option.
3 receivers to the left, including a tight end, is Petras. On play action, drops back, looks over the middle of the field, fires for the running back, and it's incomplete. Jackson Woodard hanging all over Herschel Turner Jr. Great coverage and a good stop there, forcing the incompletion by Woodard.
I'm going to say Jackson Woodard got away with the penalty there. You were right. He was all over the back of the receiver. He had great coverage, but he was early coming over the top for that pass breakup. Luckily for him, the umpire in that situation is caught in all the traffic, and he's not really able to see the play because he's too busy dodging bodies coming across the middle. So Jackson Woodard definitely got away with one there. Could have easily been a pass interference, as there is an injured Aggie on the field who is back up onto his feet after being attended to briefly by the training staff. But yeah, Jackson Woodard there at his linebacker position, covering across the middle. They go right across the umpire's face, and I think he was early. There's no doubt, at least on the live look, that Woodard was just a hair early, and maybe he's playing through to try to get the ball, and that saved him from getting that laundry. But Rebel defense fortunate they don't give up a 1st down on a penalty.
Injured Aggie was the right tackle, Teague Anderson. So the backup, Jared Pele, in for at least one play. Anderson able to jog off. 5 wide for Spencer Petras on 3rd down and 11. He drops back, fires it over the middle of the field. It's complete. Oh, what a dart as he finds Grant Page with coverage by Jarvis Ware. That'll bring up a 4th down and inches. He was a foot maybe from the 1st down line to gain.
Just because he had to come back down the line to secure the completion with the tight coverage. A great throw by Petras. Looking like they're going to go sneak here on 4th and short.
He lines up, trailing by 26 under center, takes the snap and pushes the pile for a yard plus. And Spencer Petras able to get the 1st down on a 4th down conversion. Now 6 out of 13 on the year are the Aggies on 4th. So now they'll slow it up a bit as the Rebel defense gets a chance to catch a breather. Aggies making a couple of substitutions as well. Now the Rebels bring in a host of new defenders, including 4 down linemen. Seen them go with a lot of 3 down linemen set tonight, but not here. They're going with 4 in the 3-point stance. 13:08 to play, 47-21, the UNLV lead. 2 receivers to the left. Jalen Royals at the top of the formation. Cam Oliver in press coverage. Petras fakes the handoff, looks to the left, fires towards his own sideline. It's complete to Royals at the 45. He's got some room down to the 35 to 30. And he's tackled by Jonathan Baldwin after a long pickup. Spencer Petras finding his favorite target, Jalen Royals.
There's an example of not finding the route in the zone. Jonathan Baldwin had no idea where Royals was in his drop. Found an opening in the back end of the zone.
1st and 10 from the Rebel 29-yard line. Petras fired to the near side again. It's complete to Hestera at the 25-yard line. He's tackled backwards, and he picks up 5 yards. Call it 2nd down and 5 upcoming, as the Aggies have found some momentum here in the second half, but kind of what we expected all game. They go back with a stacked formation, 2 receivers to the left, both of them spread out on the right side. Screen pass to the wide receiver. It's Hestera at the 20, gets it across the 15, down to the 13-yard line is Jack Hestera. That's his 7th catch, and he's over the century mark receiving today. Hestera had 95 yards on the year coming in. He's got 111 now tonight. Sets up a 1st down and 10 from the 12-yard line. Aggies can get a first down without scoring if they can get it down to the 2. Petrus has Faison standing to his right, and a flag comes out before he could snap the ball. A procedural penalty before the ball was snapped. I don't think everybody was set. There is a discussion, and here's the call.
Offsides, defense, number 92 with contact. 5-yard penalty, first down.
92 is Maxwell Peterson, although that's a name that we have not called yet this year. Likely Lucas Conti, the guilty party there. And look at now, Conti is out there, so that was on 93, not 92. So it sets up a first and goal from the 7-yard line. Petrus finds the tight end, Brock Lane at the 5. He batters his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Third scoring drive of the second half for Utah State. They've had 4 drives in total since halftime. It's now 47-27 pending the extra point. That tunnel screen to the tight end worked to perfection.
The Aggies have an explosive offense, and we knew they could score points. They found a rhythm late, and it comes after UNLV offensively shot themselves in the foot. So another scoring drive in the second half, and the Aggies showing a lot of fight and grit here in the second half.
Tanner Cragen out to kick the extra point. He puts it right through the uprights and makes it a 47-28 game with 11:36 to play in quarter number 4. The Rebel defense definitely going to have some things to clean up during the week. Coach Odom told us at the half that they had to clean it up, leading 41-7 at the half. It's now 47-28 as the Rebels try to go point for point with Utah State. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
You know, a lot of lawyers who advertise here don't even live here. If they say Nevada, they're not from around here. If they think our capital is Las Vegas, they're not from around here. I'm Richard Harris, and I am from Nevada. I grew up here, I went to school here, I raised my family here. No one knows Nevada like we do. If you've been injured, call me, Richard Harris, of the Richard Harris Law Firm. 444-4444, just in case.
Get baked, get sauced, get rocked. Come check out River Rock Pizza and Pasta at Arizona Charlie's Decatur. We're serving up some of the best specialty pizzas and classic pasta dishes this side of Vegas. Now with pizzas from just $7, our classic rock-inspired restaurant will have you dancing in your seat. River Rock Pizza and Pasta at Arizona Charlie's Decatur is available for dining in or to go. Only at
Arizona Charlie's Casino.
Utah State able to punch it in again. Their third scoring drive out of 4 in total in the second half. It's at 47-28 UNLV with 11:36 to play. Caleb, a little bit to clean up on the defensive side for the Rebels here in the second half. I know that the coaches everywhere are going to think that no matter what the score, but that's certainly the case tonight.
Yeah, it looks like consecutive weeks in a row where the pass attack has been problematic for UNLV defensively. And UNLV is really good against the run, and they have been all year long, but the secondary is struggling, especially with the talented quarterbacks that they face in consecutive weeks. And we attributed a lot of the success last week for Syracuse to the talent of Kyle McCord in that group, but Petrus showing that he's an effective passer as well. And some of this is the scheme of the Aggies, and UNLV allowing and giving up a lot of space in the secondary. And now they're lined up anticipating an onside kick here on this kickoff after the touchdown. UNLV obviously trying to protect against it, but there's a huge void left right behind the hands team up front. We'll see if anybody drops down to try to catch it. If that ball gets dropped into a void there, it might be tough for UNLV to recover this with all that space between DeJesus and his front line.
So DeJesus is back at the 15-yard line. Everybody else, as you had mentioned, lined up between the 45 and the 50. Elliot Nimrod tees the ball up, and the Aggies with 5 guys on that side of the hash. Although Nimrod dropping back, he looks like he's going to try to put this thing deep. Rebels may not think so. We'll see what the call. Nimrod approaches it and kicks one deep. So DeJesus has to go sprinting back. He waves for a fair catch and catches it at the 2-yard line. A frantic wave before making the grab. That's a dangerous situation there from Jacob DeJesus. But if there's anyone in the country that can pull that off, it's him.
I was just going to say that you don't trust many guys to make that decision on the fly. That ball was going to land short of the end zone, so it wasn't going to be a touchback. Jacob sprints back and gets under it, catches it, and makes a fair catch almost simultaneously. The Rebels will start this possession from the 25. Obviously, they're protecting against the onside kick, but this is when the ground game really has to kick it in overdrive. I understand they've played a pretty good game as far as producing on the ground, but this is when you put the game in your offensive line's hand. After a struggle on the end of that last drive, you want to see the offensive line and the ground game really get this drive off to a good start.
11:36 to play, 47-26, the UNLV lead. The give is up the middle to Kylan James. He's able to get maybe a yard off the left guard. Nowhere to go for James as it's now a 2nd down and 9 to go. Rebels looking to tick some time off the clock. Maybe not quite 4-minute drill time yet, but they want to have a long, sustained drive, if nothing else.
And I'd like to see Kylan James taking the handoff from the pistol formation. He's a lot better when he's going downhill toward the line of scrimmage. There with his pads laterally, not able to find the space.
James and Devin Green both off the left tip of Haj Malik Williams. He throws it to Ricky White on the out route on the near side. It's complete. Down to the 36-yard line is Ricky White before he's dragged down by J.D. Drew. That's a first down pitch and catch from Williams to White.
And the Rebels now taking advantage of the soft cushion out on the edges. They've had enough of the deep balls, had the Aggies, and Ricky White runs to speed out. Haj Malik Williams on time and on target. Even with the wind howling down there, able to connect on that completion, get an EOS Fitness first down.
8th catch of the game for Ricky White. Puts the ball on the UNLV 36-yard line. Haj Malik Williams takes the snap, gives it to Jet Thomas. He's off the left tackle and then tries to cut it back inside, but he's got nowhere to go. Jaden Francois, the first one to contact him as he picks up 2 yards.
The mark of a good running offense especially is when they know it's time to run the ball, can we run it? And right now, the Aggies understand the situation. They know that the Rebels are likely going to be looking to run. And right now, they're trying to bow their necks and stymie the rush attack that's had its way all night. We'll see if the Rebels can pick it up here.
In motion is Jet Thomas. Haj Malik Williams fakes it on the triple option. He'll keep it himself. Gets around a pair of defenders. He's tackled in the backfield by Ike Larson. He is brought all the way back to the 31-yard line. Jaden Francois came in to finish him up as well.
Very loose with the ball there. It was Haj Malik Williams on that triple option, trying to get the edge, but I don't think the read was there. And a risky play to try to get around the corner on his own there. Another negative play taken by Haj Malik. This one on a designed triple option goes backwards and puts the Rebels in a really bad situation. The clock is continuing to run. It'll be inside 9 minutes after this play, but 3rd and long for the Rebel offense.
3rd and 14 from the 32-yard line. Rebels lead by 19, still a 3-score game. Williams to pass. He's pressured. He's flushed out of the pocket to the left. He gets around the defender, fires one up, a Hail Mary ball to his own sideline that lands out of bounds. Clock stops, 4th and 14 upcoming with 9:05 to play. Olivau on the pressure, and he was all up in Haj Malik Williams' face mask.
You can't take negative plays. This offense, as good as it is, has not demonstrated this season the ability to overcome negative chains or being backed up behind the chains. Negative plays, whether bad snaps, sacks taken, have been derailing the UNLV offense all night long. And that punt is almost blocked. Marshall Lucas did well just to get it away. It'll bounce inside the 20 and roll inside the 15 as coverage team will down it at about the 13-yard line. But another offensive possession for the Rebels stymied. And Utah State, all the momentum here in the 4th quarter, 8:55 to go. And the way their offense has scored, they're thinking this is striking distance. So UNLV playing with fire here in the 4th quarter.
All of a sudden, this one getting tense. 8:55 to go. 47-28 the lead for UNLV, on top by 19. This next stop would be monumental if they are able to do so. We'll find out on the other side. Step aside for a TV timeout. You're listening to the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Rebel fans, the 2024 football season is here and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UNLV football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the UNLV Rebels. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
This great call in UNLV history is presented by T-Mobile. September 13th, 2024. A late one-yard touchdown run by running back Kylan James helped the Rebels secure their first 3-0 starts in 40 years.
Gives to Kylan James. He pushes towards the end zone. Rebels signal a touchdown, and the officials agree. That's a Rebel score, and they take the lead for the first time with a minute 51 to play in the fourth quarter.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get a great deal on iPhone 16 Pro.
On top of Utah State, 47-28. Utah State's got the ball, but before the drive, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Listen to UNLV Sports right here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas.
So with 8:55 to play, this drive a crucial one for both sides. If you're Utah State, trying to find a touchdown for the fourth time in their 5 second-half drives. For UNLV, you've watched a 41-7 halftime lead dissipate to now a 47-28 advantage. It's still a 3-score game, and time is of the essence if you're Utah State. But for UNLV, they need to tighten things up on the defensive side here in the fourth.
Yeah, and Coach Oldham talked about it going into the halftime locker room. There's plenty to clean up, and the Rebels didn't clean it up, and in some ways they've fallen off. The injuries also starting to play a factor as Jalen Catalon appears to be sidelined as well for this one. He's up on the sideline walking around, but without a helmet. So he will likely be out for the rest of this one, and we'll see what the Rebel defense can muster up with so many guys down the depth chart getting some action here late in the fourth quarter.
So Utah State has the ball on their own 13-yard line after another good punt by Marshall Nichols. Spencer Petras, 33 of 44 for 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also thrown a pair of picks. In motion is Faison, the running back, to the far side. On the tunnel screen to the left, it's Royals. He was able to break a tackle and get out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Charles Correa contacted him, which would have been a loss, but instead Royals shimmied him away and picks up 5. Utah State with 2 100-yard receivers, Royals and Hestera, who's got 118. Petras fakes the handoff, looking over the middle of the field, goes through the progression. It's incomplete, in and out of the hands of Faison. He took a shot from Correa after the miss on the angle route.
Correa's looking really comfortable now in the extended reps he's been getting at that linebacker position. He made some adjustments to that backside coverage. Again, Petras trying to get through the progression, coming to the backside, the running back out of the backfield. Correa's all over it, forcing the incompletion.
3rd and a long 4. Raising Cane's 3rd down as Petras to throw on the far side, complete on the screen. It's Hestera having a big night. He's across the 30, down to the 35. There's a penalty on the far sideline before Malik Chavis makes the stop near midfield. This flag could be huge.
It might be against the Aggies. Looks like an offensive pass interference. It's Coach Odom's early indication. Looks like an illegal pick route downfield that led to the wide open receiver. We'll see what the call is here on the tail end.
Long discussion on the sideline. As both teams just kind of hanging out with the hands on the hips. Here's the call from Cal McNeil.
No foul for offensive pass interference. The result of the play is first down.
So they pick up the flag and wave it off. The result of the play, like you heard, a first down for the Aggies. And this drive is now off and running, picks up a big chunk of yards, and they're going tempo fast up to the line.
2 receivers to each side of the formation. The running back is Faison off the right hip of Petras. Petras takes the snap, gives it up the middle. Faison cuts off the right guard and brought down. Great stop on the play. It's a number we don't call very often. Jordan Eubanks wearing 58 with his first tackle of the year.
And he actually had to sub in because Jackson Woodard, I believe, is having equipment issues. He's getting some help out on the sideline, but he's getting his first action of the season. Jordan Eubanks makes a nice tackle.
Petras rolls to the left. He's pressured. And throws it out of bounds in his own sideline. Tat Martinson forcing that incompletion. And it brings up another 3rd down for Utah State.
And Jackson Woodard now back out onto the field. Got whatever that equipment issue was sorted out. Jordan Eubanks comes in for one play, makes a nice play on the ground attack. A savvy linebacker, knows his responsibility, able to come in off the pine, cold and all, in the windy Logan air here at Maverick Stadium. Makes a nice tackle. And now the Rebels with another 3rd down situation, trying to get off the field, and looks like UNLV is furious. Mike Shear is furious on the sideline, and they are forced to call a timeout as they couldn't get their proper personnel out on the field.
30-second timeout.
With 7:52 to go in the game, 47-28, the UNLV lead. They'll meet on the sideline. This one might be a good timeout anyway. You don't want to take the timeout if you don't have to. Might be a blessing in disguise here. You're able to calm the defense down, get everybody on the same page. Utah State has been really good on third downs today, 8 out of 14. This comes after Syracuse was 11 of 18 last week. It was a focus in practice, but UNLV still struggling on third down defensively. A lot of it tonight, though, due to personnel.
And sometimes you got to give credit to the opponent, right? You could say that defense has to do better, but sometimes they're just making the plays. Sometimes they scheme it up right. And right now, defensively, UNLV just doesn't have the answers to get off the field on third down. The space that they create from formations has really been coming back to hurt the Rebels, and the zones have not been tight. And Petrus has honestly been able to find the right read. He's gotten through his progressions. The pressure hasn't been as often as maybe the Rebels had hoped. Not able to get home with 3- and 4-man rushes. And then also Petrus is able to get it out against the blitz quickly as well. So 3rd and long here. We'll see what they decide to do.
3rd and 8 from the 41-yard line. Spencer Petrus takes the snap, gives it up the middle. Face on, jukes out Jackson Woodard, but 3 other defenders come in and make the stop. He is stuffed 2 yards short, and it brings up a 4th down and 2 to go.
And I think that call was with the intent to go for it on 4th down. Now it's going to be 4th and 1, maybe even 2 here for the Aggies. They're lined up quick in the shotgun.
4th and 1.5, we'll call it. They get UNLV to jump off sides on the hard count, and it was Antonio Doyle Jr. who came across the line of scrimmage.
This is a lack of discipline, but that's the second time now that they've jumped off sides, and really, in a lot of ways, unraveling at the seams here defensively in the second half. The Aggies,
number 95 with contact, 5-yard penalty resulting first down.
And the Aggies have been able to exploit so many of the deficiencies of the defense, whether it's the scheme, the discipline. The offense has had everything they've wanted from the ground game, the play action, the pass, and now even the penalties. Rebels are reeling right now.
They call that one on Alexander Whitmore. There's a couple of defenders that jumped. Man in motion to the near side is the running back as Petrus finds the receiver Hystera on a slant route down at the 35-yard line. Hit as he made the catch. Jack Hystera having a tremendous game. It took 2 defenders, including Correa and Elad, to drag him to the turf. 10th catch of the game for Hystera. He's over 150 yards in the air. With 7 minutes to play in the game, Petrus fakes a handoff up the middle, fires it on a slant. The throw is low, and it's incomplete. No, they're going to call a pick. Jackson Woodard picked that thing off the grass blades, somehow able to find a way to put the hand underneath it. Jackson Woodard with his 2nd interception of the game. It was a late call from the official, and Woodard did get it upon a second look. Oh, what a play by Woodard on the Belfort property restoration turnover.
I'd say Woodard has bailed out the UNLV defense yet again. Jed Elad on coverage, forces the incompletion that pops up. Receiver had it on the scoop and then lost it as he rolled over and pops up right into the waiting arms of Jackson Woodard. He's able to come down with it. And all that turnover will be reviewed, and it looks like it was a quick one because the officials are setting the ball for the Rebels. A crucial interception now generated by Jackson Woodard.
How about the game for the captain? 11 tackles, 2 picks, and a fumble recovery. That one huge with 6:54 to go. Ball spotted on the UNLV 19-yard line. Malik Williams on the pass to the far sideline, gets it out to Jaden Bradley. He picks up 9.5 yards before DJ Graham spins him down. They will give him the first down. Call it a gain of 10.
And the fans here at Maverick Stadium starting to head to the exit. 3 possessions now with inside 6 minutes to go. It's going to be tough for any team to come back just with the number of possessions. UNLV now will move the chains, give them the extra yard there, slowing the tempo down after getting that first down.
I just saw Hodge turn to the sideline and put the hands downward as if to say, let's slow this bad boy down. With 6:18 to play and counting. Play clock winding down with 5 on the play clock. Malik Williams claps for the ball with the running back, Jet Thomas, behind him. He drops the snap. He picks it up and runs it up the middle himself. He's got a lead blocker in Balaguy. Across the 40. He's across the 50, to the 40, the 30, the 20, the 15-yard line, the 10 to the far sideline. Malik Williams on a broken play. Runs it all the way down to the 5-yard line. That's a way to turn nothing into something.
There's a lot of John going on. Late hit on Malik Williams as he found the sideline. Some Aggie players are frustrated with the way this game's going. Malik Williams take a broken play again. A bobbled snap by Hodge, and he's able to turn it into a positive play. Biggest run of the day for him. Gets it all the way into the NV Energy red zone, and there's still some John going on. The officials threw a flag, Brendan Marion, the offensive coordinator, is out on the field. He's expressing frustration. It was a clear late hit on the quarterback out of bounds.
Hit, number 6 defense. Half the distance to go. First down.
The penalty on Ike Larson there as he finished the hit, but way too late. Call it a gain of 62 yards on the ground for Haj Malik Williams. That is a career long for the sixth-year senior.
And Brendan Marion's still on the field. He's very upset at that late hit because it was clearly that there's a risk for injury there to your starting quarterback. And Brendan Marion's yelling across the sideline at the Utah State sideline, this got to get cleaned up. There's a lot of jawing going on. I'm not sure if some of that was picked up on our crowd mic, but there's some words being exchanged that are R-rated for sure, but you got to make it clean down the stretch. UNLV with a big run, trying to put the icing on the cake on a big win on the road.
After the penalty, it's a 1st and goal from the 5. They give it to James off the left tackle. He spins towards the goal line. He reaches it across the end zone for the touchdown, but a flag is out at the 6-yard line, typically in the area of holding. Here's the call.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
That was on Tiger Shanks on the back end of the play. So it'll move him back and reset it on 1st down and goal to go from the 15-yard line. 5:34 to go. Rebels on top 47-28 and looking to add on.
I got to say, it's probably the most animated I've ever seen Brendan Marion during a ball game, especially in a negative way where he's upset like that. And obviously, Haj Malik Williams took a spill on that play, very late hit, and clearly out of frustration by the defender there. Larson saved a couple of touchdowns in the game already on the long runs, and UNLV, again, milking the clock as much as they can inside 8 seconds now on the play clock, but the game clock isn't even running here.
Ball snap from the 15 as William gives it to James up the middle. He jukes to the right, has some space at the 15. James to the 10. James at the 6-yard line, pushed out of bounds. Kylan James, very patient there, just kind of waiting, juking, found a hole. It was Ike Larson and J.D. Drew that eventually shuffled him out of bounds.
And made a mistake there in allowing himself to be shuffled out of bounds, and it's clear the Rebels are in 4-minute offense mode. You got to stay in bounds, and Christian Moore, the tight end, first man to tell him, hey, keep it in bounds, keep that clock rolling. The clock now will continue to roll.
Saw the referee behind the plate waving the clock,
Yeah, the officials made the decision because the runner, his forward progress was stopped inbounds. Fortunate there for the Rebels, but that's clock management. You got to understand, hey, try to stay in bounds if you can. Don't even leave it up to the question of the official on the sideline.
So this one going to be snapped, maybe, as Haj Malik Williams has to turn and call a timeout. Barry Odom went sprinting out onto the field as well to get that timeout called. So they're trying to take some time off the clock, a little bit too much time off there as they call their second timeout of the half with 4:59 to go and a 19-point lead. If you're UNLV here, Caleb, is it run, 2nd down and goal from the 7?
100%. I'm running the ball 3 times in a row. I'm not even kicking a field goal on 4th down. I'm going to maximize his possession. I should be able to get the ball into the end zone with 2 downs here. Obviously, they'll have 2nd and 3rd down. I'd go for it on 4th. But as long as the ball's on the ground, and that's what I'd be telling Haj Malik Williams. I know you want to put points on. Sometimes you got to be smart about the game and the situation that you're playing here. Yeah, you want to take advantage of a one-on-one situation. And it looks like that's what the Aggies were lined up for. Man-to-man coverage with your receivers, but I want this game to be over with. I want to end it on offense if I can, and obviously handing the ball off and keeping that clock rolling will go a long way towards that. But 2nd down play here, both teams out. Kylan James lined up in the pistol behind Haj Malik Williams.
James with 101 yards on the ground. Jet Thomas, the leading rusher, with 139. On 2nd and goal, it's James to the left side. He goes off the left tackle. Good block by Ballanguy. Gets him down to the 5-yard line before he is walloped. A couple of good hits. Jordan Vincent laid the boom on Kylan James and brings up 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
You mentioned it, Kaleo Ballanguy. There's some fighting going. Ricky White in the middle of a scrum. He's getting pushed around by some of the secondary of Utah State. And the officials separate. No flags, but some pushing and shoving to get them apart. Rebels now getting lined up offensively inside 15 seconds on the play clock.
They continue to wind it. Now they'll reset the play clock. 20 seconds on the play clock with 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game.
Great awareness by Haj Malik Williams. He saw the play clock reset, and he went up to the line and said, hey, guys, relax. We're going to milk some more time off of this one.
9 on the play clock. He steps up again and changes the play. 4:05 on the game clock. 3rd down and goal to go from the 5. Williams gives it up the middle to Kylan James. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 3 before he's twisted to the turf. And another penalty comes out on a late hit. It was Jay Beasley taken to the ground in the end zone by DJ Graham, way away and way after the play.
There was a spotlight on that play. The That judge was watching Ricky White in the secondary, who were chirping on that last play the entire time. I'm not sure who they're going to catch with this. They are trying to get a hold of this game as officials because it's getting sloppy down the stretch. And early indications are it's against the Rebels. And it looks like Ricky White is going to be the guilty party.
Personal foul, number 11 of the offense. 15 yards to the spot, fourth down.
That's unfortunate. That was a very quick flag, and they don't throw that quick if there wasn't that John going on the previous play. And like I said, the officials had the spotlight on it. It's the right call. There was John going on. The second man always gets caught. Not sure exactly what happened. Maybe it was what was said because it was a bang-bang play. And like I said, the spotlight was on. And now Andre Mayono out to attempt a field goal here. It's going to be a 35-yarder, 36 from where Marshall Nichols is going to spot it.
First college attempt for Andre Mayono. The 6'1 sophomore out of Redondo Beach, California. Former Fresno State Bulldog kicking it with the win. From 46, the snap is good. The hold is down. He's got the leg, and he's got it right down the middle. Andre Mayono with his first collegiate make. And with 3:31 to play, the Rebels with a 50-burger. 50-28. They continue this dominant performance, find a way to get some points at the end of the game. And with 3:31 to go, take a TV timeout. Back with the finale of this 50-28 UNLV lead on the other side. This is the UNLV Sports Network from Learfield.
Set your alarm for some early football from London. Jacksonville versus Chicago. Sunday at 6:15 in the morning on Raider Nation Radio 920. Brought to you by Finley Chevrolet, home of the...
Woo! Great cities are built on strong foundations. The skilled members of Laborers Local 872 never stop building. From the asphalt on our roads, the concrete in our buildings, the solar fields powering the economy, and everything in between to work safely. Laborers Local 872 is modernizing the Nevada workforce and building a global city. The future is Union Strong.
Gambler's Bonus hits again. On August 27th, Mark hit 4 threes, clearing his Gambler's Bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $11,000. Mark hit big and so can you with Gambler's Bonus. It's why you play the game.
After Andre Mayono's first make on a field goal, it's 50-28 UNLV with 3:31 to play. Rebels trying to put the finishing touches on what looks like their 5th win of the year, their 2nd in Mountain West play. And UNLV 3.5 minutes away from moving to 3-0 on the road here in 2024. Caleb, not much to harp on, maybe outside of the second half defense. Haj Malik Williams, 13 out of 20 for 233 yards and 3 scores. He's rushed for 65 yards. Kylan James and Jet Thomas, both with 100 yards. Thomas with 139, James with 105 and 2 scores. Ricky White, what do you know, another 100-yard game, 138 yards on 7 catches and 2 scores. White with his 13th career 100-yard game. Offensively speaking, this is just another game for UNLV where they have dominated so far.
Yeah, and it's great to have 50 points on the board, and obviously there's a lot to be happy about. The numbers will say that, but this game did not go well in the second half, and by all indications, by the way this game has gone, Utah State won the second half, and that's sloppy performance down the stretch, and Coach Odom was right to be a little bit grumpy, I guess, at halftime and think there were some things to clean up. Plenty to work on the tape, and UNLV will get those things corrected. Obviously, looks like they will come away with a victory and avoid a disastrous finish here on the road, but not the way you want to finish it, especially in the second half. Really being stymied in a lot of ways on both sides of the ball.
And the Aggies hold a 21-9 advantage in the second half. Andre Mayono kicks it from the 35-yard line, a high end-over-end kick that's fielded by Jalen Royals at the goal line. He waved for the fair catch prior to that. So Utah State will start the drive at the 25-yard line, beg your pardon, with 3:31 to play, likely their last bite of the apple offensively. Spencer Petras, meanwhile, 36 of 50. You want to talk about volume. 393 yards passing. It's his 13th game of over 200 yards. And he's trying to go for his 3rd touchdown pass. Sends a man in motion to the top. That's the running back, Turner. He drops back and looks to the left side. He's pressured as he fires one up over the middle. It's caught by Royals at the 45. He is crunched. Oh, no, an injury. An injured Rebel down at the 50-yard line as Jet Elad went limp after making that big-time hit. That looked to be a serious hit.
Yeah, and he took the worst of it there. Charles Correa waving frantically for the medical staff to come out. Charles obviously got there to check on his teammate and realized it was serious and looked like potentially a head or neck injury. He's up on his feet now, but clearly a little bit wobbly. Want to take your time, Jetty lad, with that one. Recover, recoup. And he's definitely wobbly. He might be out on his feet, as we used to say back in the day.
You could see when he landed, the arms just both went limp right over his head.
He went for the big hit on the receiver, trying to separate man from ball, and unfortunately he took the worst of that hit.
Yeah, on the replay, some helmet-to-helmet contact there. No flag on the field.
I don't know if there was helmet-to-helmet. Definitely helmet-to-shoulder pad. They had plenty of time to look at this and throw a flag for targeting, but they have not initiated the review yet. But a big play for the Aggies.
Dago Albert fills in for him at the safety spot as Petrus drops back on a first down play, throws it over the middle of the field. It's complete to Royals again. And that was Albert on the coverage, wearing number 40, his first playing time of the year due to the depleted all-of-a-sudden defensive unit for UNLV.
They're doing his second window slants, and good patience by Petrus and good protection by the offensive line, allowing the second window for these slants across the middle.
1st and 10 from the Rebel 38, 2:45 and counting to go in the game. Petrus, play action, fakes to the left, throws it to the right. It's complete at the 25 to Grant Page. Page, and out of the 27-yard line. Sets up a 3rd down and a long yard. Rebels trying to get off the field here. 2nd down, beg your pardon. 2nd and 2 with 2:30 and counting to go. Utah State now with a huge sense of urgency here. The 3 points for the Rebels, making it a 4-score game. They're playing for pride at this point with 2:15 to go in the contest. Petrus calls for the snap, pulls it out of the belly of Turner on the play action. This one's tipped up and it's incomplete. Malik Chavis nearly fell underneath it. It was Jackson Woodard that got a hand on it. Now it's 3rd and 2.
Another defensive pass breakup by Jackson Woodard. He's solid in the run game. Also in the pass attack as well. He's been a nuisance to Petrus. That time getting underneath the seam route on the play action. Tipped that ball. It was up for grabs, and fortunately for Petrus, falls harmlessly to the ground.
Utah State in 4-down territory with the clock stopped at 2:08 to go. 3rd and 2 from the Rebel 30-yard line. Petrus to pass. Looks right. Now left. Flushed out of the pocket to the right. Just laser beams one into the dirt. As the incompletion will bring up 4th and 2 with 2:02 to play. Petrus with Osei Egbase in his face.
And they'll have to snap it on this 4th down before the 2-minute timeout. Unfortunately, they won't have that 2-minute timeout to think about what they want to do on this 4th down. Due to the incompletion, 4th and 1. Rebels have another opportunity to get off the field and essentially end the ball game. We'll see if they can do it on 4th down.
Petrus has 2 receivers to each side of the field. Turner to his left on play action. He looks to throw to the left. Now fires it over the middle of the field on a sliding grab. Grant Page has it inside the 20-yard line. Spotted at the 16. Coverage by Cameron Oliver. Not tight enough on the sliding grab.
Yeah, you just can't defend against a passing. That's a great spot to put that ball, forcing the home run slide by the receiver. Impossible for the defender to play through the man and get in there and break that pass up, and that will take us now to the 2-minute timeout with a 1st down for the Aggies.
Clock stopped at 1:56, 50-28, the UNLV lead. The announced attendance coming through at 20,295, just about a sellout here on homecoming for Utah State. Well, looks like UNLV is going to hold on for their 5th win of the year, go to 5-1 halfway through the schedule. Another road game coming up next week, Caleb, at Oregon State next Saturday. Is that a venue at Reser Stadium that you've ever been in attendance at in Corvallis?
No, never been to Corvallis as a player or otherwise. So It'll be a first for me. It'll be a first for this bunch with UNLV and Barry Odom's guys going up with the scheduling agreement with the 2 PAC teams in Oregon State and Washington State playing a Mountain West schedule essentially for their conference schedule. So it'll be the first time the Rebels go face the Beavers up there in quite some time. They have been as a program in history, but just the first time in a while, and it's going to be a tough one. It may have gotten a little tougher. The Rebels will go into that one a little banged up with some injuries here on the road, and that's the game of football, right? And that's why you roll things out there, and the season can go up and down and fluctuate. And Rebels fortunate right now to be enjoying a big lead, but at what cost? And we'll see exactly what those costs are as the next week rolls on, getting ready for the Beavers, but still a little bit more work left to do here, trying to keep the Aggies out of the end zone. The defense has been up against it all second half, and we'll see if they can muster up the effort to get a stop.
Last time that UNLV and Oregon State squared off, all the way back in 2002. Meanwhile, for Utah State, they'll stay home and take on New Mexico in a daytime game next Saturday. That's a winnable game for this Utah State offense that really kind of showed more who they really were in this second half, as they're likely going to move to 1-5 and 0-2 in Mountain West play after this one wraps up.
Yeah, they've showed massive improvements all season long, especially here today. You've seen them improve on the game plan and on their efforts throughout the game, and they've got a lot, especially offensively, to hang their hat on. The effort that they put forth in the second half defensively as well. If they can play like that for 60 minutes of football, this is a competitive team in the Mountain West that is likely going to catch a few teams slipping down the stretch. But UNLV looks like they will escape. Obviously, the standard has not changed, and they're expecting to get off the field here, prevent any further points by the Aggies.
After the first down completion from Petrus to Page, sets up a first down and 10 from the 16-yard line of UNLV. Utah State going from right to left to close things out, going right into their athletic academic complex. Waiting for the official's word as they bunch up the formation with three receivers trips to the left off the hip of the left tackle Moses. Petrus calls for the snap with Page alone to the right. Takes it that way, throws it to the left on the tunnel screen. It's picked up in the air and it's incomplete. Charles Correa nearly had a fortuitous bounce right into the hands, but it falls harmlessly to the turf for an incompletion, brings up second down.
And Petrus really just lasered that tunnel screen in that time. The tight end with that close range, unable to get his hands up in time, bounces off, and fortunately, like you said, incomplete.
1:52 to play, 50-28, the UNLV lead. Petrus gives it up the middle. It's Turner with Jeremiah Vessel holding on from behind. Osei Gbase also combining for the stop. That one's down to the 12-yard line as the clock stops. A timeout called by Utah State.
Utah State, their second timeout of the half.
They've got one remaining as they try to dial up a play on 3rd and 6 with $1:43 to play. Just trying to find something that works here. Honestly, at this point, getting a lot of second and third string players in is a good thing for a team like Utah State under the youngest head coach in the country, the interim head coach, Nate Dreiling.
Man, I don't even think it's the second and third string guys. This is the starters. They're getting reps here against what they figure is a top 25 caliber opponent. They put up 28 points so far, and they're looking to add to that total. It does a lot for a group's confidence. Petrus, of course, is going to feel really good about himself after what he's been able to do from a numbers standpoint. Some turnovers that he's going to want to shake free from, but outside of that, the Aggies offensively have had a very good outing, and if not for those turnovers in the first half, this could be a very much tightly contested ball game.
Spencer Petrus has career highs in just about every offensive category today. He snaps it here on 3rd and 6, looks to pass, rips it over the middle, and it's knocked down by Jackson Woodard. He punches the turf. He thought he had his third pick of the day.
It's a case of man attacked by ball there. Jackson Woodard jumps up into the air, and an absolute bullet by Petrus goes right into the chest of the linebacker. You hear the thud of the glove from here. Jackson Woodard dropped interception, could have ended this one, but now a 4th down stop could do that, and we'll see if the defense can hold on.
The minute 38 to play, Rebels trying to win it. Petrus on the check down, finds Turner, the running back, on the left side on the swing. He picks up the first down, gets it inside the 5. He is pummeled, gets it all the way down to the 3-yard line. 3 Rebel defenders, including Antonio Doyle, combining for the stop. Clock stops until the chains are set with 91 seconds to play.
It should be running here because the chains are dropped.
Yeah.
First and goal here.
There we go. Now it starts as Petrus calls for the snap. Gives it to Turner off the right side. He dives towards the end zone. No ruling yet. He's in. Touchdown. Herschel Turner Jr. is second of the year, and the true freshman continues to add on to the second half scoring for Utah State. 50-34 pending the extra point with 1:18 to play.
28 points with the extra point pending by the Aggies in the second half, and doing it pretty effectively. UNLV looks like the Aggies are lining up to go for 2, getting some extra work in that regard here.
And they will. So it's 50-34. Aggies want to make it 50-36. Keep in mind, this is a team that came into this game averaging just over 23 points for an entire game. They've gone over that in the second half alone. So they come out of this one with 4 receivers to the left and Grant Page all by himself on the right side. Rebels look like they're in man coverage with Cam Oliver one-on-one with the receiver on the top of the formation. Referees get it spotted. They blow the whistle. And Petrus sends the running back Turner in motion. He lines up behind him in the pistol. The snap. He looks left, looking towards the end zone. Petrus steps up. He goes down as Osei Basse dives over the top of him. He'll get credit for the tackle. And the two-point conversion, no good. 50-34 the score. We'll see if Utah State decides to try anything on the kickoff.
I'd assume they'd go onside kick here. I mean, why not? At this point, you've shown how aggressive you're willing to be. And even if it's just for pride or just to practice executing, even just making the Rebels execute more snaps offensively, I wouldn't be surprised if they do go for an onside kick here. And UNLV obviously has already lined up with the hands team out on the field, and they'll probably do it again just for safe measure.
So with 1:18 to play, the Rebel lead is 16 points. They'll take a win. Looks like they're going to walk out of here with win number 5, but certainly a lot to clean up here in the second half.
It's going to be a win that they're not going to feel good about. It's a 50-point performance. 50-34 is still a pretty handy victory, but the way the second half went, I don't think there's a lot that the Rebels will feel good about on the plane ride back to Vegas.
A lot of it dictated by injuries. Rebels banged up coming into this game on that side of the ball and leaving even more so. So here's Elliott Nimrod. They do line up for an onside kick. 4 players to each sideline, 2 guys right off the hips of Nimrod. Rebels with the hands team out on the field. Nimrod kicks it to the far sideline. It's grabbed at the 50, and able to grab it and go down was Casey Kane with some pushing and shoving going on the Rebels sideline.
Khalil Balangai absolutely obliterated any attempt to get at Casey Kane, who made that recovery.
That's why he's out there, right?
Basically the tight end group over there with Christian Moore as well, taking that Utah State Aggies coverage team out of bounds and out to the sideline. Casey Kane had all day to make that catch, and he did, and went harmlessly to the ground. And Rebels offensively will come out and maybe have to make one offensive snap as a run play because the Aggies do have that one final timeout left. We'll see. They line up in a victory formation, and they'll likely just take this knee and force the Aggies to take that final timeout if they wish.
And Osmalik Williams does take the knee. It's every offensive coordinator's favorite play, victory formation. As the clock continues to wind, they'll snap it a couple more times, but this one is going to go final here in 1 minute and 5 seconds of real time. 50-34. On paper, a great win. But as you had mentioned, Caleb, due to injuries or scheme, the second half was all Utah State. The Rebels did enough to hold on and add it on a little bit offensively as well.
Yeah, that's the benefit of a fast start, right? You give yourself a little bit of wiggle room on the back end just in case any leakage comes. A game of football is 60 minutes. Rebel with a dominant first half and really not so much in the second.
They'll snap it with 37 seconds on the game clock. Malik Williams touches the knee to the turf, and that will wrap things up. UNLV moves to 5-1 to start out the 2024 season. They move to a perfect 2-0 in Mountain West play with a matchup at Oregon State on the docket for next week. 50-34 the final. May not feel great about the second half, but you're walking out with 50 points offensively and win number 5 out of 6 games. You will take that 8 days a week.
As it turned out to be a more thrilling affair in the second half than we anticipated, but weathered the storm. And they'll go out of here with their second Mountain West victory. They'll find themselves right among the top of the conference as far as the seeding will go after this victory. And the clock finally hit zeros. Both teams